trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit, and it was just awful.
I've turned chicken salad into chicken shit. I will continue to do so.
Making chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Make chicken salad out of chicken shit. People is as people does, that's all there is to it. But a square peg in a round hole just never seems to fit.
This is Bianca Belair.
Hey, this is Kevin Owens.
Hey, it's Seth freaking Rollins.
It is the man, Becky Lynch. It's Rhea Ripley here, and you're listening to Wrestle Radio Australia.
Hello and welcome to Making Chicken Salad, the Wrestle Radio Australia show where we talk about everything going on around the world of wrestling. My name is Lachlan Albert, and I am joined by these two lovely gentlemen. First of all, the man behind the podcast, it's the beast, Todd Eastman. Todd, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing good. We're also joined by the brain behind WrestleBrania. It's Jeff Setti. Jeff, always good to see you, mate.
Lovely to see you, Lachlan. Hopefully we don't get too much of this.
Fingers crossed the internet isn't as much of an issue tonight. I can pull some faces if you'd like. And I was
going to say, I don't mind the... That was a pretty good one last week.
Yeah.
It was great timing.
Look, just before we get into the more fun stuff tonight, we want to acknowledge someone just quickly, and that's Katie Lux. Our understanding is that there was a bit of a serious injury at
Renegades.
Renegades Wrestling.
Renegades.
She was having a match with Tali last weekend. We're hearing that it's quite gnarly, so we're sending best wishes to her because obviously, you know, injuries happen, but we never want them to happen. Everything we do in the ring is to avoid injuries, right?
And it also really sucks because it really sucks too because she was in like a real vein of good form when it comes to finding a character and putting it all together. So hopefully the comeback is always better than the setback, and we'll see her sooner rather than later. And best of wishes to her.
Yeah, from all three of us, best wishes to her. Apparently she's not feeling too bad, is what, you know, I was told by a couple of people. That, I've been told by a couple of people that, and you guys are privy to one of those people. Katie, get better soon, mate. Like, look after yourself, take your time and get better.
Absolutely. And Michael from Moonsault Press saying that they didn't realize at the show. I think I saw that when I read the review. I read his review and gone, okay, well, she obviously didn't show any symptoms of what happened to her, but Jesus. Yeah. So
and if you find out what actually happened to her, Jesus.
Yeah. So what an absolute trooper, you know. Best wishes to her. We hope to see her back in the ring sooner rather than later, but we hope to see her in the ring fully healthy. That's the priority, right?
Yes.
So we'll get that out there straight away. But Wild Angel mentioning in the chat, I've been loving her work since I started watching Renegades back when she was working with the Glow Up to now in MCW. Get well soon, Katie. We've seen huge developments for her just recently. The MCW stuff's been fantastic. We've talked about it a bunch. And just coming out of that feud with Erica was clearly set up for something good. So, you know, not the best time to have that happen, but there's never a best time, right? There's never a best time to get it. But we're not talking about that this episode. We've got a whole lot to talk about, and whether it's what's been going on in WWE with SummerSlam taking place, or AEW setting up a Continental Cup with All In coming up, or whether it's here in Australia with PCW Carnage 2026 that we've watched. There's so much going on, so we'd better get into it. And speaking of PCW Carnage, this is a show that's available on the PCW network. We've talked about the network before, with just a fantastic little product because of how much content they put out. This is, you know, if you listen to the show, you would know that when we do the rundown of what's going on every weekend, PCW's there every week, right? The Slam and Evolution and stuff, it's just always there, which means that when you've got something like the PCW network, there really is bang for your buck, and it's not just on quantity, it's on quality, right? These are really excellent shows.
It also means that, you know, when they're putting the clip packages together, They don't have anything that's shot outside by and large. It's all shot at PCW, and it gives it a really nice feel. I feel like I'm actually watching almost like a Monday Night Raw type thing, or a pay-per-view type thing, particularly with this show, where it was like full packages done in the ring and getting boos and cheers and things like that. And I personally love that. I just want to mention that at the top.
It's the closest Australian wrestling product that is almost a weekly television product. If you've got the PCW network, that is, it's basically a weekly TV product that you can follow episodically.
Yeah, it's fantastic stuff. And speaking of the production, I think the production that we've talked about it every time we've talked PCW. They set a really high bar for production. The commentary always sounds fantastic. It's always well lit. Michael from Moonsault Press asks, do we know how far back the network goes? It would be interesting to go back and see some of the current stars who got their start in PCW. It definitely goes back a few years. Yeah, I can't tell you off the top of my head like what the earliest stuff in there is, but it goes back years.
You'd have a real good chance of seeing a very young indie, a very young Philippe's.
Yeah,
real good chance of seeing that.
Philippe.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, let's see if someone watching knows and can leave a comment or send a message. That'd be great, so we can get an answer for that. We will do what we can to get an answer for that.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about the production because there's a couple of things that I loved. One thing that I do have to mention, it looks to me like part of the opening video package was created with generative AI. This is something that we've been talking about a lot. Now, it wasn't a lot of it, and it was something that I don't think was feasible to go and film, right? Because it was, a referee flying out of a second-story window. Like, you're not just going to go out and film that, right?
What? But, you
can't? Like, we talk about generative AI a fair bit. There's, opportunities there where that could have been filled by something else. It's not the most egregious use of AI that I've seen, far from it. So I'm not going to go too hard on it, but I do think it's worth mentioning that, it's something we talk about. We want to be consistently mentioning it when we see it.
Yeah.
But when it came into that building, into the PCW arena, and they actually had a set for the event because it was one of their big events. So they've got the stop signs and the fencing and the caution. I love that stuff. And I always get sad that modern WWE doesn't do that anymore. Like, I loved when it'd be, insurrection, and for no reason there's big swinging blades. You know what I mean?
Oh, you mean like Backlash?
Backlash and have like the big axes going, or it's No Way Out, so there's chains and cage everywhere, and I love that stuff.
And even the dice for Fully Loaded.
Yeah.
And the big SmackDown. I miss the SmackDown fist. Yes, I am one of those people. I don't mind.
And to be fair, like TNA, AEW do that a little bit. They do it less now, but they did back in the day with was it all Double or Nothing? I think they had one where they had the big poker chips.
The big chips, and that was like the first Double or Nothing. They really went into it, but you don't see it as much anymore from the big companies, and you definitely don't see it, in Australia, because most companies are putting on one show a month, if that. Pario Magazine letting us know that Todd had to slide Backlash in some way.
Backlash.
Backlash. Yeah, like most Australian companies are only running one show a month, if that. So
yes,
you set up the ring and the gear, and you're good to go. Whereas when you've got a company like PCW that is running a weekly show, it gives them the opportunity to go above and beyond for these big shows, do a little bit of set, make it look visibly different. I am a huge fan of that. And whoever in production put that effort in needs to be celebrated.
It's great. And further to that, in-house, it looked phenomenal. It wasn't overbearing, but you noticed the difference. You noticed all the weapons and the toys and everything around. And that really gave it a special feel at PCW that night.
And I'll say that I think they did a really good job with this card of being not just a card where the big matches are, but it felt cohesively like a show, and to the extent where, you know, when WWE had put on an Extreme Rules show and every match would be Extreme Rules, this being Carnage, it felt like Carnage. Every match had something that was a question mark of, oh, how's that gonna go? Even if it was a little one like a mystery tag team partner or a manager banned from ringside, there was a little bit of chaos in every match, which I think was really well booked to make this feel like a cohesive show that exists outside of the week-to-week wrestling that they're doing in PCW. And I loved it. We'll talk about that match by match, and kicking off with the PCW Ignition title in a Falls Count Anywhere match between the champion Ryan Rapid and the challenger Murdoch. And when they said Falls Count Anywhere, they meant it. Jeff,
you know what was
about this one?
Yeah, you know, firstly, I hate that Murdoch's won his first singles title. Just shocking. Just, mate, really.
What a jerk.
You know, you guys know how I feel about Mur. He's a great bloke, lovely human being. As a note, a peek behind the curtain, I walked past Rapid and I said, "Good match, mate." And he goes, "Yeah, I just wanted to do the right thing by Murdoch. That's all. I wanted to start his title reign well." And I thought that was really lovely to hear. This was terrific. Like the fact that it went into practice rings and obscured from people and then worked its way back in the ring was really good.
I was going to say, Jeff, because you were in the building for that show.
Yeah.
Did you see any of that? Did they have it on big screens, or they did?
They had it on screens, so people could feel included, and it wasn't like, going into the dark where you're going, we can't see, because that chance really quickly if people can't. But they were smart enough to put it on screens so you could actually see. The only problem was I had this guy in 2 rows in front of me, actually right in front of me. He was such an obnoxious. Oh, hi, Michael from Moonsault Press. It was Michael from Moonsault Press. Lovely to meet you, mate. And this was just a terrific match. Not just because Murdoch won, but it was a great way to set up a night from PCW that was completely different from their norm. And this was just a bang-on match. And that cannonball into the ladder, ow, no thank you.
Yeah, Todd, what did you think of this PCW Ignition title Falls Count Anywhere match?
Yeah, when it started off, like that wasn't the start of the show. Of course, the start of the show was the Marauders doing that little spot where they can just destroy another tag team and do a quick in-ring promo on that. But to start off the matches with that match, I was just like, geez, where are they going to go from here? Because that is setting a huge bar to start that show off. Like to have a match like that where you're going into practice rings and you're going all around the building and you're kicking people downstairs and like all of that sort of stuff. It was a really, really good match. Murdoch seems so much more comfortable in this madman persona. Yeah. So much more. Yeah. And I love it so much better. Like, I can take him seriously now. People aren't calling him Meatball. Do you know what I mean? Like, he looks like a serious, like, credible worker. He's like PCW. To me, he's like PCW's Kevin Steen or Kevin Owens.
And shout out to the guy. He is in phenomenal shape. He's looking the business, if you like.
That's unlike Australian wrestling at the moment, isn't it? But yeah, really good. For the fact that Rapid would put himself through a table doing a 450, it's such a rare thing to be able to do, and the fact that they got to use it like that, I thought was really, really smart.
And also, I think it benefits from the fact that they're at that building all the time, means the fans know the layout of the building a little more. Like, if you've ever gone and done the VIP ticket meet and greet, get a photo, you've been back where that stage is. So it gives that kind of geography into the fans' minds, which you wouldn't always get when you're filming people go backstage, which I think is a really helpful thing as well. I loved this match. I think that they both went absolutely all out. Ryan Rapid is going to be in the conversation for, I think, Wrestler of the Year in Australia for us this year, because his work in tag team has been so good, but then also he's doing singles matches like this, where he's just the absolute measure of a champion who makes his opponent look fantastic, who does incredible things. And Murdoch, hooly dooly, that guy just goes for it. I also think that you can tell that they had a conversation with Dangerfield Inferno in the main event, because to have two kind of out-of-the-box, no disqualification matches with lots of big spots, the fact that there was so little crossover between them means that they've thought about it. And that's worth shouting out as well. Because it would have been really easy for them to accidentally do the same spot in both matches, and they just didn't.
Yeah. I really liked also, I liked that it just it left such a big impact, go on Lachlan, that you kind of could settle into the rest of the show. While I understand your both of your acknowledgement that it's a hard match to follow, it left such an impact that you were kind of then ready to settle down a little and see something a bit more grounded. The actual makeup of this card is very smart. It was really, really fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And this progressed into, like we said, a bit more of a standard singles match between Shen and Sammy Falcon. This one having the twist that Jamie Tagataisi was banned from ringside and wasn't able to help Prince Shen here. This is kind of the big return of Sammy Falcon as part of this feud with Shen, and bringing up, the old RB4K stuff. I think that the story that they went for here was really interesting, with Shen almost, taking the old spot of Sammy Falcon. And I think they did a really good job making Shen look great without taking away from Falcon here. Which, when you've got someone returning and someone climbing the ranks, that's a hard needle to thread. And I'm really impressed with how they managed it here. What did you think of Shen and Sammy Falcon, Todd?
I'll admit I was a little shocked that Sammy didn't get the win here. Just because being a return, that kind of like the establishing thing. But obviously I would hope that there is more to tell with this story. More to be, because who knows now that Shen's done this win and will probably rub it in even more. He's got Jamie. Maybe Sammy has to lean on some old friends from RB4K. To bring in.
Of note, Rapid lost the title.
Yeah, exactly.
Freeing him up from any obligations. Aisha has the title, but she held the title when RB4K.
She doesn't have the title.
She doesn't have. Oh no, Rochelle Rogue's got the title.
Rochelle Rogue's got it.
Rochelle Rogue's got the title. So Aisha's free to. Have some fun there while they feud with Ari Nicole. So, I can see what you're saying. And also there have been some very specific shout outs to one Mr. Carl Grove up there in the announce booth. So I for one would love to see that. RB4K, just as we were starting to do this format that we do now, were a hot heel stable at that point. And I think they had to split them up because they were all getting so popular.
Yeah, Michael from Moonsault Press mentions, while it didn't have a big stipulation, I think the way Falcon solved the injury, saying I think it was the shoulder from memory, raised the stakes.
Yeah, it didn't have a big stipulation, but then, its kind of stipulation was it was Sammy Falcon's return.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So, the match for what it was, like I said, they had a tough road to hoe because they had to, come out after that match beforehand. But I think if this is the opening chapter of a story for them, I thought it was fine.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Moving on to another match.
Ask Jeff.
Can I just add a couple of things here, please?
Go for it. Sorry, mate.
Thank you, mate.
What do you think, Jamie?
I thought that popped me, Todd. I thought this was great. I really like Sammy Falcon. Seeing him back in the ring is always a pleasure. Sam's a great a great hand, and he's only like a good add to PCW Carnage. Shut up, Jamie. Jamie's just popped up with the comment of "I think lots." I don't necessarily agree with you entirely, Todd. I mean, I would love to see RB4K as a face group, but also my thought is maybe Sammy feels I can't get this done. I've got to go back to the way I was because I can't get this done. I see him having a bit of a losing streak and then going full heel. And it's a really smart move because it gets the face pops out of the audience from seeing someone they haven't seen for a number of years. And then he starts doing the real stuff. Sammy's great as a heel, but so is Rapid, Aisha, and Carl. So either of those...
I kind of feel it'll be different. Like, he'll be losing, but he'll be losing because of the numbers game. And then one of them will offer to come in. He won't go to them. Actually, like Rapid or someone will come in for make the save and go, hey, we're at the end of the day, we're still brothers.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, look, they could go either way, and that's the great thing about PCW at the moment. Their storylines are fantastic. I really like the flow of the match. I like the way Shen's working. He's improving every time we see him, which is what PCW is for. And as I said, Sammy Falcon's such a good hand. If his role is to keep feuding with Shen and build him up, that's a great role for him.
And I absolutely agree with what Wild Angel says here. Sounds good that someone was banned from ringside and it wasn't immediately followed by a run-in. Yeah. Jamie was banned from ringside and no one came in at ringside. Perfect. Right? Like, let's deliver on what we're saying, and then that way, when we break what we've said, it actually means something. Really appreciate that there.
Yeah.
Moving on to another match that kind of didn't have a stipulation, but there was a lot going on. PCW tag team titles on the line.
It had.
It had
a stipulation. It was a tag team title match, but there was 6 men in it.
With a 6-man match.
6 men, yeah.
For a tag team title.
Yeah. Black Diamonds of Jackson Atlas, Jason Blade, and Seth Tanner versus SBB, Ben Breakfast, and Sam Yanis, with the idea that if SBB won, then theoretically Ben and Breakfast are tag team champions because Black Diamonds have been freebirding it. So it allows you to have the full freebird team in the match while also being just for the tag team titles rather than a 6-man thing. I think that was really interestingly done, and it played into some really classic, like, Sam Yanis miscommunication with Ben and Breakfast that I think we're going to see going forward. Right, Jeff?
Yeah, I was going to say I love Yanis's slight, just very, very treading the line on being a bit of an asshole. He inserted himself in the match. Sam, what are you doing? They had a tag title match. You know, it really, really is becoming another very good storyline that PCW are running. I really like the Black Diamonds. I really, really like the Black Diamonds. I think they've got awesome presence. The three of them are great workers, and they have terrific chemistry together. And I think that one part of this storyline is their chemistry is beating not the lack of chemistry, but not the chemistry that has been well formed of Sam, Ben, and Breakfast. And I think that that's really, really interesting. The match itself was so fast moving and so much fun, especially in-house. You know, you get to the point in the match where it's spamming of finishes now, particularly in this kind of match, and it worked. Like, I'm not normally the biggest fan of it, but it actually works because you didn't know which team were going to get that pin. But as you say, that miscommunication always was a stick in the craw for SBB. Just a terrific match. And I actually think the right team with this one.
I agree.
I will say that 3-man 3D, that looked like a rough bump.
Oh, it did.
Rough.
Yeah, that looked like a rough bump. So I hope Sam's okay after that, to be honest with you.
I'll just throw in to what you were saying, Jeff. I don't know if this was played in the building, but in the version that's on PCW's network, there's a promo with SBB from after this match of Sam kind of apologizing to Ben and Breakfast about the miscommunication. And they go, no, like, it's all good. These things happen. You know, we're not mad. And then Sam Yanis kind of goes, all right, well, do you want to go get some food? And they kind of go, we're not really hungry. We'll see you later. So, playing up that they're nice guys who they're not mad at him, but it's not all roses in the team of 3. And I think that's really nice storytelling.
And it's also very good because they're not overplaying it. Like, Giannis isn't an asshole now. He's just a guy who keeps messing up for his 2 best friends. And then I like the fact that we're slowly seeing SBB lose more because of Sam's inaction or Sam's confusion. Or it's just so good. It's so subtle and so well told. Todd, what did you recommend?
I will say, first of all, as a sneaker aficionado, I love the fact that these guys, Black Diamonds, come out with the matching kicks, and they're different from the ones from before.
Beautiful,
very great work from the boys. Match itself was good. Like I said, that 3-man 3D that looked rough. That looked like poor Sam had nowhere to land.
No, it in-house, it got that ooh when it happened.
Yeah,
people were
because
aware
it genuinely looked like it jammed him. So, like, I suppose it had its intended purpose because it looked like it finished him. I thought it was really smart having it be Sam to be the one that gets pinned. Again, losing it for Ben and Breakfast. It wasn't either Ben or Breakfast that got pinned. Great work from the Black Diamonds as always. Really, really good heel team. I don't know if they have visions to go and work in other places, but I'd love to see them pop up in other places. I think that'd be a great team popping up in an RC Dub or something. Or
I think from memory, having a chat with them, they're just pretty happy at PCW. They get a lot of respect. They're highly loved. Yeah. And they're just, I think a couple of them have kids. So it's like that thing of, I can get this much time off, but traveling's much, much harder. Remember, this roster's still quite young. So a few of them have kids. So.
And also, the one thing I think that sometimes we all forget is that sometimes people just don't want to do that.
Well,
sometimes people just are quite happy to work for the one Fed, and that's it. That's their home. I'm not really interested in going out to an MC. I'm not really interested in, it would be cool. It's just I'm quite happy here, which is also a really cool thing when you want to help, just build something, and you don't really care about having to go out and reprove yourself in other places.
Well,
which isn't a knock on them, by the way.
The interview with Anthony Dangerfield, which is available now on the Wrestle Radio AU YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcasts from, I actually came out and asked him the question straight up and said, hey, do you want to go further with this, or is this kind of it for you? And he said, look, he's happy with what he does at PCW. He's a coach there. He does a lot of work to bring kids up. And, that speaks volumes. That absolutely speaks volumes.
You don't have to want to do that everywhere else. You don't have to. And I think that's lost sometimes. Sometimes we as fans but I want to see him here. I want to see him there. So, but maybe they're just happy trying to make PCW or RCW or wherever their home is the best possible promotion they can. And that 100%, that is why guys like Chris Basso never went to America, never tried his arm anywhere else, because he just wanted Riot City to be as good as it possibly could. He just wanted to bring that up and make it as big as it can. And without guys like that, without guys like the Black Diamonds, if they don't want to go anywhere, that's kind of the backbone of Australian wrestling, having guys that don't want to do that and want to make their local scene as strong as possible by staying home.
Well, the Marauders are a case in point as well.
Yes.
They both got kids
100%.
and they said emphatically, because I referenced how much you want to see them at MCW, mate. And they were like, yeah, we'd like it, but we've got kids, man. We can only do so much. And you go, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
And it also means that PCW kind of have a special attraction in that way, right?
Yeah.
If you want to see the Marauders, if you want to see Anthony Dangerfield, you'd better head out to PCW and check him out, right? Which I think is a good thing. Moving on to some guys who are not only at PCW, but did something that you're not going to see anywhere else. Levi Nixon and Lucky O'Leary in a dog collar match. This one doing a lot of work with the history of both Nixon and O'Leary. I'll just check if someone's headphones become disconnected or something there.
Jeff?
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah, it wasn't mine because I'm wearing in-ears.
I think.
Yeah, and I can hear you because I'm on my speaker.
There we go. Much better. That should be
great.
Yeah, Levi Nixon and Lucky O'Leary playing a lot on their history as part of the Mongrels, with Levi coming out to old music and old gear for a match that absolutely belted both of them. They went pillar to post with this one. Jeff, what did you think of the dog collar match between Levi Nixon and Lucky O'Leary?
I thought this was terrific. Lucky O'Leary is a magic worker. He has everything you need. He is amazingly good on the mic. He should have mic time pretty much anywhere, because by the end of the promo package, I was going, I know this guy and I want to see him get the shit beaten out of him. Like, I know the guy. And Levi Nixon, again, the guy he's probably got one hand on our most improved trophy this year, in my opinion, because the guy is really, really becoming something special. Giannis and Nixon as a team, you don't even think of them anymore as a team. That's how good they're both going. And isn't that fantastic? There's no Marty Jannetty in that team. I really liked this match. It was violent. It was everything it needed to be, with one tiny, tiny exception. And I understand why it's a very family audience at PCW, but in a dog collar match, I want to see some crimson. I want to see some blood, because it's a dog collar. It's a dangerous weapon with kinks and things like that. And to put that over, in my opinion, there should have been a little bit of color.
We also did notice they didn't really hit each other in the head that much either with it.
No, they didn't.
They avoided there having to be like blood by doing that.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But then I'm going, why aren't they hitting each other in the head more?
Yeah.
You know, because it's that much of a blood feud. It's finishing a real blood feud. You want to see a little bit of blood. I'm not saying do that in every match. I like the fact that there was no blood in any other match, but I wanted to see it in this match. Saying that, great, terrific match, a smart ending. Lucky almost outsmarted himself with his smarm and his overconfidence. Just a beautiful piece of work from both guys. I'm a big fan of both of these lads, and I think, as long as they're both in Australian wrestling, we're the winners for it. Todd, what do you reckon?
I'm just going to... There's like two things in this that immediately stuck out to me. I really like the way that they used the fact that they had the chain and they were tied to each other. There were points where, like at the very start, where kind of Lucky did what he would normally do and bail out of the ring, forgetting that he's got this thing wrapped around him, and like Levi just yanked him and he dropped with it. I love that kind of thing. And also their offense was a lot different to a lot of dog collar matches you'd see. Like, they were very inventive with a lot of that stuff, which I enjoyed. I will say though, and they're not even a dough thing, I understand that this was Levi's old look. Yes, with the tights and the...
Yeah.
I like it better than what he does now. I thought he looked awesome. The face paint, the tights. I was like, wow, this is... Because I didn't realize until I started listening to the commentary. I'm like, this is a really cool new look. I really dig this about him. Like, this is our old look. I'm like, oh, okay. It's his old look. And
it is more of a heel style.
Yeah, well, kind of. But you can also play that as a babyface. Like a babyface is a kick-ass babyface. Like, it's a very easy thing to do. I get this feeling with Lucky. He's just confused about what he wants his character to be. I just don't get it. Like a human nuke, he should be fucking uncontrollable. He should be Scott Steiner. He wants to be Scott Steiner. Go the whole hog with it, by the look of him. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what his look reminds me of. But then he comes out with like the Letterman jacket, and there's like, I don't get this.
And the
I don't get
dice
this.
rolling like video
Yeah.
package, and it's like,
Yeah,
okay, but are you lucky or are you the nuke? And how do they?
Yeah, exactly. What, like if you're going to change your gimmick, change your gimmick. Don't have a foot in both ponds, because then no one knows what you are. If you don't know who you are or don't know what you are, you can't expect like the fans to understand what it is you are. Like if you're the human nuke now, you should be just fucking uncontrollable.
Yeah.
You should just be, do you know what I mean? You should be Bron, like I reference Steiner's again, Bron Breaker when he's angry. That's what to me, that's what a human nuke is. Like he's not controlled, he's not calm, he's not like trying to be lucky, he's not posing like that. He's just he just wants to go out there and wreck shit.
And most of
and
his
I think
wrestling
I think until he zeroes on exactly what he wants to be, he won't get I don't think he'll get the response from the crowd that he's probably asking for or trying for at the moment. Like there are bits I saw when they recapped some of the promos when he had the chain around Sam's neck and he was like pointing to the crowd. That stuff, great.
Yeah.
But then you come out and do all the other stuff and I'm just like, okay, which one are you? What is this? What is this look? What is this? I don't understand.
I think the delineation is a bit more. That word is really hard when you've had medicine. Is a bit clearer in MCW than it was here.
Yes.
I feel like here maybe this was a throwback to match Nixon's throwback, but it didn't quite transfer. I agree with you, Todd. I agree with what you're saying here.
I just think fucking go for it. If you're going to go for it, both feet in and fucking dive. Do you know what I mean? Like, what have you got to lose? If it doesn't go over, then you go back to your old gimmick in like 6 months. Like, just take the chance because there's something there. Like, he has a look where that would work. He just has to be wholehearted about it. When you go in half-assed, you're never going to get the results you intended. Because you're always like keeping that one hand on it's like jumping out of a plane. If you jump out of the plane, you're not going to hold the rail until the very last moment, are you? You just jump and then you work it out.
I think he's the perfect kind of guy to go nuts and start beating.
Yeah.
Like we've seen it at PCW with Dangerfield, so I'd kind of move away from that. But start beating up.
But he's different. He's different to Dangerfield because, and no offense to Dangerfield, the guy's a ball of muscle.
Yeah.
So he's a totally different character. Like Dangerfield is more hardcore-y. He reminds me a lot of James Hartness.
Yeah. Good.
Whereas
Dangerfield is more like, in my opinion, sadistic and calculated. Whereas this human
like Semi Callahan-ish.
There's no calculation to the human nuke. You just
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
when a nuclear explosion, it's not targeted. It just hits everything.
Yeah.
And that's what he should be.
And I think that the human nuke is a wonderful sounding gimmick.
Yes.
And I've got to agree with you, Todd. Diving into it would only benefit Lucky. It would only do
go
good
all
things.
in. And
also,
this isn't like a knock on him at all. Like his work is great. He just needs to work on that character part of it.
That aspect, yeah.
Which is what I think is holding him back from going to that next level.
Yeah.
Outside of that, Todd, what did you think of this dog collar match?
Like I said, I really, really enjoyed it. It was one of my favorite matches on the card because they didn't just do your standard what you would do in a dog collar match. They were inventive about stuff. They like the fact that there was one point I think Levi held him up against the post so he could do that 619 into him, and he couldn't get away because he was chained to it. He couldn't move from it. Like stuff like that, really smart. I thought it was. Like I said, it was one of my favorite matches on the card, pushing to be like if the thing didn't start off with a full count anywhere match, it would have probably been my favorite match on the card.
Yeah, for a card to be this stacked, like, it takes a lot to stand out, and I think they did a great job with this match. I think they used the stipulation to their advantage at every opportunity. Even little things like when O'Leary hit the big pile driver, he wrapped the chain around the neck before he hit the pile driver. And
Yes.
that's not a lot of work to do, but it puts the exclamation point on, this is a dog collar match, and so he's taken it to the next level. Love all that stuff. And yeah, these two went balls out, like really, really impressed. Next match was a tag team match with Charlie Rose and Rochelle Rogue taking on Aisha with a surprise partner who turned out to be a returning Ari Nicole, who, unsurprisingly, since we last saw her, is looking fantastic. She's right back where she left off, which is great to see. Todd, what did you think of Charlie Rose and Rochelle Rogue versus Ari Nicole and Aisha?
Yeah, that was the one, like, the one glaring thing for me was just like, well, Ari doesn't look like she's missed a week. Like, she looked right on form, right on that she'd been doing this. Like, she hadn't had that time off because she was very crisp with everything she did. She, again, for someone that is very young in her career as well, felt very advanced in that match. I thought she did really well, especially when you're in the ring. When you're in the ring with Aisha as well, you could easily be shown up for looking greenish, whereas I didn't feel like she did at all. The one thing I will just a little bit of a pick on, I probably would have had Ari pin Rochelle just in that tag, because then she can go, hey, I've pinned you. I deserve a title shot now. The fact that it was like Aisha and Charlie, who are two people that aren't really involved in this little tete-a-tete at all, just was a bit... I was like, okay, I feel they missed an opportunity here, but then I don't know what they've got coming up.
Or you have Aisha pin Rochelle, so now she's got a claim to the championship, but also Ari gets to say, well, I never lost the championship, and then you've got interesting dynamics there. Whereas when it's just Aisha pinning Charlie, where does that go?
Sorry, Jamie's giving me hell for a tete-a-tete.
Yes. Or it could be me with my delineation. Got it. I like this match a lot. Firstly, it's great to see Ari Nicole back. She's clearly recovered from the injury. She looks terrific. Aisha getting pops freaks me out. I've got to be honest. It freaks me out that she gets sustained pops at PCW because, of course, firstly, she was RB4K for so long, and secondly, she's so good at getting heat everywhere
and
she
goes. And
goes.
she went straight from RB4K to Ambush.
Yeah. Yeah. But this was really nice. It's nice to see Ash get some cheers and kind of lean into them a bit. Ari Nicole, terrific. Charlie Rose has come a long way, and Rochelle Rogue always looks good. She along with Katie Larks is kind of that next generation that's just knocking on the door of women's wrestling, and it's pretty good to see. I liked a lot of the story this told. Almost that Rochelle was running from Ari Nicole, and that's why I didn't mind the pin. They've already subtly started telling this story of Rochelle's worried she's not going to be able to beat Ari Nicole, to give Ari the run that she should have had. Just beautiful stuff, and nice work from PCW. Sorry, I know we've kind of got separate takes, but it's interesting.
That's fine. That's what the show's about.
Exactly.
We don't. God, if you guys agreed with everything I said, I'd be fucking bored.
But it illustrates. Sorry, Lachlan. It illustrates how many directions PCW can go in with some of these stories. It's brilliant.
I think that these girls were put into a really rough spot here, which is to be between a dog collar match and a hardcore match for the title.
There was a break. So the dog collar match, there was a break for 20 minutes. And this was coming back after the break to just have this and the PCW title match, national title match. So I think while I agree with you in the video,
yes,
but
there in person, not so much.
And big pops for Ari's return. Big pops.
Huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
And I think that kind of planning is showing in how well received everything is on this show. Because it would be very easy for a women's tag team match right before a hardcore main event to not get a big reception because people are waiting for the main event. But that's not what's going on here because all 4 of these women are performing at such a high level with such a great crowd connection.
Yeah. But this is where PCW is really, really special because they can do almost anything and the crowd will go with them because they love the shows. They're so passionate about the shows. I adore going to the PCW crowd because it's almost like a flashback to an 80s kind of, smaller place. These kinds of nights are really good. It's the one night of the year. They keep saying it's the one night of the year. It's basically their Extreme Rules, if you like. But what I really liked was that the crowd went with them no matter what they did. Every reaction is the reaction it's supposed to get. And absolutely. I think that's fantastic.
And again,
I will say too, special shout out to the Glow Up because they are a really good heel team. I almost want them to go a little bit extra, like obnoxious. At times. Just that little bit extra obnoxious. Like you could do a little bit more and really rile that because that crowd would be so easy to. I would love to work that crowd because they would be so easy to rile up. And then, someone like Charlie, I think Charlie is really, really good at connecting with that crowd and riling them up. And I think if they just turn that dial up, just that slight bit more, people would nearly be going over the barricades to go after them at times.
Oh yeah,
because they've got it. They've got it there. They just a little tweak, a little extra knife, like sticking the knife in, and that crowd will want to kill them.
It's especially nice they've paired these two with Ruby because Ruby gets dynamite heat at PCW. Like it's off the charts the amount of heat that Ruby
Which was
gets.
surprising that she didn't play any part of this at all.
No, it was a bit of a surprise.
But maybe if it's the decision to have if Rose and Rogue aren't going to win, if you're going to have the Glow Up not come out on top for the story that you want to go through, don't have them use every tool in the book. Whereas if they're getting the win, then you have them use those little extra things. And so
well, God knows the book they used to use didn't work anyway.
Ugh. Terrible, Todd. Burn book reference for anyone playing.
Come on, that was a good reference. I'll stand on that. I'll stand on that reference.
Yeah, well played. Main event time, PCW
the soundboard controls
on the line in a hardcore match with JJ Furno being challenged by Anthony Dangerfield, and they did just about everything that they had access to here, including stop signs and 2x4s and the barbed wire 2x4 getting broken in half, which I hope was part of the plan, because if not, that was a signature weapon that just fully broke. And, I should say that any time I'm watching a show and I go, oh, I hope that was part of the plan, or how are they going to work around this? That means you've got me, right? Because I don't know what's going on. So I'm bought in here. The fact that they did the thumbtacks, they went all out. Orion Menson showed up like about halfway through the match and really turned the tide. So you've got that JJ Furno, who's a beloved babyface, fighting from underneath in a hardcore match, which always gets the crowd riled up. And then finally Kobe Reed came out to even the score and then turned on Furno. I would have liked a little more surprise in that moment rather than it just being like standing there and then he physically like turns about 45 degrees, if that, to be looking at Furno. That's fine. Or we could have had Furno getting beaten down and Kobe comes in with the chair and lays it across the back of Furno and just really have that moment be, here's the turn. That's what I would have liked a lot. But other than that, I think having this be a 3-on-1 beatdown with Furno somehow managing to hold on with the 2-on-1 beating to get through to the end before it finally gets too much. Dangerfield gets the win, founds the Asylum as a new faction, and brings out a new custom title that seems to have... I didn't get a great look at it, but it seemed to be purple to align with him. I think that this will be a really interesting story going forward with the main title. Nick Galea saying contentious statement, but he doesn't buy Dangerfield as that guy. He's been a goofy heel for years, and now he's supposed to be a monster. Meh. I don't mind it. I also haven't been watching him be a goofy heel for years.
I was going to say, I think with it too, I think that they've been telling this story for a while now. So it's not like in the past month they've decided that Dangerfield's a heel now, like a monster heel, and he's going to be. They've been slowly telling that story over the last 3 or 4 months.
Since about June, July last year. So
okay,
it's
so
just
like
been really
over
subtly.
a year.
Started really subtly, and then it, got that way.
Yeah,
really.
I would completely agree with Nick if it was like in January they just like, okay, now you're a monster. But if they've been doing this over like the space of a year, like it's slowly getting the crowd used to the fact that okay, that's what this guy is now. So, and for someone who like Lachlan said, I don't watch the product to a week basis, so I only see what I've been seeing on. I think we watched the Rumble show, and we might have watched the one before that.
We watched the Rumble show.
The Rumble when he attacked Camby, right?
Yeah, and I think we might have watched one before that, and like I saw him as a like what he is. Like I said, he reminds me a lot of Hartness as the heel, like a Hartness heel sort of like. That sort of thing where like hardcore like will come out and beat the shit out of people. Like I get that. He doesn't have to be a massive guy to do it either.
He very much takes the character he was telling me from Brian Pillman. So he's doing a loose cannon thing, but he's doing it extremely dangerously. My only gripe with this match was he had some family members and friends in who were cheering for him no matter what, and it kind of took away a little bit from the story. But there's nothing you can do about that. And I think that the Dangerfield himself was trying to kind of do shit to stop that from escalating, but it was a tough road to hoe for him. JJ was amazing in Lost. That guy looks like $1 million. He looks incredible. His moveset is great. You don't expect someone with that much height to be as much of a high flyer as Ferno is, and it's really refreshing to see.
He's very much their John Cena, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Very much so.
But unlike just being there, John, like everyone loves him though. There's no one that was actually. They weren't booing JJ. There just happened to be a percentage of the crowd that were cheering Dangerfield.
Yeah.
This was a great match. The ending was a bit of a shock when Kobe ran out. Kobe is so good as a heel. So good as a heel. And I like Orion Menson's work here. I think it's really good. The Asylum, I can see them doing the adding one more member and doing the whole, owning all the titles for Horseman shtick. Maybe they add Murdoch. He'd fit in well as a loose cannon, protege to a loose cannon. Who knows? But
I don't think Murdoch should be a protege to anyone at the moment.
He feels like a different kind of madman.
He's just crazy.
Let him step out and be on his own. He doesn't need people. Let him be on his own. Let him establish himself.
Well, then maybe make it really sharp.
You're in. I don't mean to say this in a negative way. Like he's been kind of living in Jarvis's shadow for a while.
Oh yeah.
Just because Jarvis is so flamboyant and out there, and like just who Jarvis is.
Yeah.
So it's hard to break out of that, and I feel in PCW he's doing that. So I think the last thing he needs is to be like put with a group.
Fair point. Yeah, fair point.
I also quite like the idea of Dangerfield and the Asylum going, look, we're here to make sure people get hurt. Over there, with that Ignition title, people are getting hurt. We can leave that and it's fine.
Yeah. Both really good points. I like this match so much. That chair shot from Kobe to JJ was brutal. Was absolutely brutal. And in fact, JJ did get checked out. I can tell you that for a fact. that was not a work. They got him checked out straight away. The guys who run PCW are very, very careful about their workers, and you love to see that as well.
But also, I get it. Put your hands up. If you didn't put your hands up, put your fucking hands up.
Agreed. But this was something special. This match was a really nice way to kick off the era of the Asylum, and I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to step up to Dangerfield, because we probably won't see JJ for a while now.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's
it's interesting because there's no real, like, when you look at the landscape of PCW, there's no real like standout babyface ready to go, is there?
It's Levi.
Well, maybe Levi.
Well, maybe Levi. Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that he's...
No. I get what you're saying, but I'm just
it's
like...
Levi or it's Ryan Rapid are the kind of next to ascend there. And you've got the whole thing where, you know, one half of Rapid Fire got beat, and you've got Ryan Rapids, the other half, who just lost the Ignition title, but he was also second in the Rumble, and Dangerfield got that match by winning the Rumble.
Something just struck me. Yes, talking of the Rumble, the person Dangerfield took out to enter the Rumble was Kobe Reed.
Yeah. Did you not pick that up in their saying?
How good is that? That's so good. Sorry, that's just lovely. I wanted to say...
Medicine kicked in.
Just lovely storytelling. Just beautiful storytelling. I like the stories that were weaving through this show. Chef kiss good. Well done to the PCW bookers who actually asked me if I liked the show. I was like, yeah, you guys kidding? I loved it.
I kind of feel like Michael says, I'm interested to see Kobe as part of a major story. As a background in acting, he could add a lot. I really kind of bought him, like, the turn was good, but I really bought him as a babyface. I thought if they could have, if there was some way they could have kept him as a babyface, he would have been a great little interim challenger for Dangerfield to start with. As a, like, because he feels like he would be a really good babyface in peril.
He is such a natural heel. Lovely kid.
Yeah.
Really nice kid, but just a natural
heel. I get that, but I just, like, when I look at him, I'm like, you could get so much sympathy out of a crowd because he's a good looking kid. And if he can sell that he's, like, registering, like, pain, that crowd will get behind him. Do you know what I mean? And I understand, like, he's a natural heel and all of that shtick, and so's Jarvis, but then he is an amazing babyface.
And I'm happy to be wrong about this, but it feels, from my perspective, like PCW has a huge supply of really despised heels in a lot of different ways and a lot of different presentations. So if you've got the opportunity to have a guy work as a babyface for a little while, squeeze the juice, right?
If I was coming into PCW right now as a young worker, I'd be looking at trying to be a babyface because that's what they need.
Yeah.
Like, you look at a company at a full, like, you look at a company as a full overall, and you look at what they don't have, and you try and do that, or you try and be that for them, because they're like, well, shit, we need a babyface. Him.
I do want to say one more thing about Furno's title reign, and this is about PCW in general. In the past, PCW have kind of relied on other people from other states. And it's really, really nice to see this roster flourishing and developing. And I'm really happy to see it because most of Furno's defenses were against locals. And I think that's something that's really nice.
Well, I think that's a trend that is happening a lot around the country now.
Yes.
Like, they're trying to build from within, trying to not have to bring in, like, really guys from interstate to do it. Like, if guys happen to be up and they want to have they're available for that date, that's fine. But, like, there are a lot of places that really, like, don't quote unquote need an interstater on a show to do it. Like, for us up here, Pro Wrestling League, I think, is a prime example of that. Like, we do on the next show, we've got Ricky South, but that's fucking Ricky South.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? For the most part, like, I couldn't tell you the last time we had it. Was probably Mick Moretti. Back when Ricky Utami was the champion.
Challenging Utami.
And that was the only real interstater I can remember that was on that show.
Well, if you look at Brooksy's magnificent Intercommonwealth title reign, which is something you discussed in your interview with him that we put up last week. Check that one out as well while you're checking out my PCW ones. But his title reign was about making younger people, but specifically younger Victorians. He wasn't going in there against Jesse Lambert, as much as I like Jesse. No, he was in there against Rapid. He was in there against, he was in there against JJ Furno. He was in there against a lot of younger talent. And it's really, really nice to see that, reflect on that in this trend.
Yeah, and Nick Galea mentions that PCW has traditionally been a locals-based promotion. In 10 years of seeing their shows, they've had maybe half a dozen featured interstate guest appearances. And that's great. And you can see it paying off in the way the crowd reacts to the homegrown talent, which is fantastic. I loved this show. I think that should be clear from the way that we've talked about this show top to bottom. Carnage 2026 was an absolute cracker of a show, and it's worth getting amongst the PCW network to watch it because, again, top to bottom, the fact that it opened with that insane Falls Count Anywhere match, like that was the opening match. That's unbelievable. So it is definitely worth heading to the PCW network. It's video.pcw.com.au is the way I've got it locked into my computer. So get amongst that. No Soul Rose says, hey guys, great show. Did you know that pigeons can tell the difference between paintings by Picasso and Monet? I wonder what pigeons think of modern mumble rapper Too Slimy. Great question there, No Soul.
I know it technically wasn't, but I had to do it.
Close enough, right? So, yeah, like we're saying, get amongst the PCW network because they're just putting out really great stuff if you like Australian wrestling. If you want to see guys from Victoria just killing it, you can see it at PCW every week.
And it's really exciting to be in a state with somewhere like PCW. And every state has these, breeding grounds for new talent because the talent that I'm watching, that I watched there 3 and 4 years ago is now an MCW. And you're going to see the same thing here. You're going to see, like JJ Furno's already started to make waves there. And obviously Aisha's been there a fair bit. And, Ari Nicole was about to have her debut when she sadly got injured. Lucky O'Leary's there. Shen was there, Murdoch's there, Ryan Rapid's there. Like, it's really exciting to see this talent being molded and come up in their gimmick. And it's fantastic.
Yeah, and you can go along and catch them every weekend, right? And if you're interested in catching some local wrestling, there's local wrestling this weekend. Shout out, as always, to Michael Lee at the Australian Wrestling Community Facebook page for getting us a bit of a rundown here. Starting with the ACT on Saturday, August 8th, you can catch Slam Pro Wrestling League number 25 at the UC Refectory in Bruce. Meanwhile, in New South Wales on Saturday, August 8th, you've got two options. Australian Wrestling Superstars at the Orange X Services Club, as well as Lucha Fantastica's Exotica Battle Sydney at the Factory Theatre in Marrickville. That one is 18+. Meanwhile, on Sunday, August 9th, Australian Championship Wrestling has All Stars Superstars Sunday. Over in South Australia on Friday, August 17th, another 18+ show, Wrestle Rampage Cruel Intentions at the Lion Arts Factory in Adelaide. What was that, sorry?
7th, not 17th.
On the 7th.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Meanwhile, on Saturday, August the 8th, MXW has Mount Gambier Meltdown at the Orlando Recreation and Convention Centre. Down in Victoria, PCW, like we've just been talking about, has Slam featuring Evolution and Ignition. Those are at the Southeastern Entertainment Centre in Ferntree Gully on Friday, August 7th and Saturday, August 8th, respectively. And Adrenaline Pro Wrestling has Anniversary 9 at Cranbourne Public Hall. Meanwhile, over in WA on Saturday, August 8th, the EPW School of Pro Wrestling has Out of Control in Malaga. So check those shows out this weekend. Get amongst some local wrestling. We've also got some Australian wrestling news that we can bring into you. Spider and Body Biz have announced some of the wrestlers that are going to be part of that inaugural Australian camp that's happening in Florida, I believe. The first 4 names announced for that one, and they're all huge gets. Clydesdale, Eugenie, Amp Cava, and Matty Romano. If this is the quality of names that we're seeing get announced for Spider for the full, 16, I believe, people that are going to be 16. Over there in training. If they're all of this kind of quality, And if there's growth over in that camp, which I have to imagine there will be, Australian wrestling is going to feel a huge jolt in the arm, because those are all people who are doing excellent work, and if they can get a little bit of growth, that little bit of a next level, we're going to be seeing huge performances out of that.
I said at the start when I saw those first 4 names, I put in our chat and went, I think it might be a quiet weekend in Melbourne wrestling that week.
Yeah.
It's just like starting with those 4, like if another couple 4 are like from like 2 or 3 of them are from Melbourne as well, you're really thinning the herd over that week.
But what is exciting about this is, as we've seen before with people who go and do the Davis's and
The EPW Super Camp.
Slater's training camp. I want to see the results of this. This is going to be phenomenal to see these guys, and maybe, and I don't like to have a shot at him, but maybe Kava should like have another ab. I don't know, because he sure isn't eating hamburgers with that. A 14th, one more ab, Anth, one more ab, mate. No, you love to see it, and all of these people are going to benefit from the training. I'm almost positive of it.
Yeah, I'll also quickly shout out, we haven't mentioned it in a little while, but World Series Wrestling Mega Mania. I'll just run through the dates. If you haven't grabbed a ticket to World Series Wrestling yet, they're at Auckland, October 29th, Brisbane, October 30th, Adelaide, October 31st, Melbourne, November 1st, and Sydney, November 2nd. Obviously, a lot of big names announced for that. Buddy Matthews, Andrade, Shayna Baszler, Sammy Guevara, Killer Cross, Scarlett, LIJ, including... Bushi, Naito, and Ryusei, the Iconics. Also, kind of since we've talked about them, they've announced Hanare, they've announced Moose. The Good Brothers are going to be there. It's a stacked roster. I will be ring announcing in the Brisbane show, so if you're in Brisbane and you want to see me as part of that stacked roster, come along and see that. Another bit of news we're going to talk about.
I'm just going to take 5, guys. Going to take 5. I'll see you after the break.
Australian Championship Wrestling is obviously a promotion that has been talked about a fair bit, right? They actually put up a post the other day, which I thought was very interesting, regarding the way that merch was sold, saying that they've been looking at other Australian wrestling companies and seeing shows and seeing the way that wrestlers being out there to sell merch is important, and that they're going to move towards that model in the future, which... I think it's a really good step that they're acknowledging some of the ways that other Australian wrestling companies have been making good moves and becoming more open to taking those ideas. I think that's really good. I'll just run through this announcement quickly. ACW 001 Melbourne, this is on Friday the 4th of September in the Melbourne Pavilion, announced this week was Mustafa Ali and Bobby Lashley. So that's some pretty big names.
Yes.
On Sunday, the 6th of September, so 2 days after that show in Sydney, they've put out a bit of an announcement that says...
Yeah, read the press release, and then I'll take it from there, mate.
Quote, meet the Hurt Syndicate live at the official Australian Championship Wrestling headquarters for an exclusive fan experience unlike any other. This private meet and greet gives you the opportunity to meet the Hurt Syndicate, take photos, collect autographs, and create unforgettable memories with one of professional wrestling's most dominant groups. There's a bit more.
So I read that, and I was like, hang on, they only announced Bobby.
Yeah.
So I messaged Hassan, because like any good bad reporter, I should probably try and find out something from the source before I could ask around. But hey, what is a better source than the guy that owns the place?
Yep,
so I messaged Hassan and I said, just to clear it up, because we're going to talk about it on the show, in your press release thing for your meet and greet in Sydney, you've got Meet the Hurt Syndicate. I was like, so does that mean that like Bobby will be there with MVP and Shelton Benjamin? And then he gave me his answer and was just like, he's asked it to be hinted about. So I can confirm that at least one more member of the Hurt Syndicate will be there. And if they're there, I'm guessing that they'll be in Melbourne as well. You would have to assume that. And I think that the guy doing it is probably, you would say, I don't know, a gold standard when it comes to wrestling.
I also think you could potentially look at historically who's come down to Australia and had some matches in the last couple of years. Right? That might hint who would be interested in coming down and wrestling some more in Australia. If you're looking at, meeting, quote, one of professional wrestling's most dominant groups. So,
yes.
Yeah, very interesting.
I can, I mean, I could say exactly who, but I've been he said I could, but then he also said that the person said just hint to it. So I don't know, but I do know who it is. And it's one of the, well, fuck it. There are 3 members and MVP isn't coming.
There you go, right?
I just realised what I'd said before. There's 3 members, MVP ain't coming.
MVP's not coming.
Hint.
Hint. Wink, wink. Oh, man.
So, yeah.
we are very clearly, we're professionals here. We say everything very carefully with how we put things. So that's why we're going to progress to talking about international wrestling after this. Talking about some of Nick Galea, by the way, saying, to be fair to ACW, I'm not privy to their business practices, but I have spoken to a few people involved with ACW. Apparently there's some pivot, so I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, even if the show isn't my cup of tea per se.
Yeah, I will say too that I've talked to Hassan a fair bit over the last couple of weeks, and he is a genuinely nice dude. He genuinely, from what my discussions with him, he wants to do better. He wants the things to grow, and he wants to make it as good as possible. I completely understand that, and I support that. His views on AI will not change because that's just that's the way he feels about it. And I respect that about it. I respect that that's the way he feels. I just don't hold the same opinion, which is fine. And I told him that straight away because when the last time we talked on the phone, he just made that ACW song. And I was like, you do realize that people are going to go off about this, right? Because it's just the thing that you're not really cool to do nowadays. And he was just like, look, it saves me time. I don't have to go back and forward with people. I don't have to, and that's why I've done it. And that's his opinion. We might not hold the same opinion, but opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. Yeah. So while I don't agree with that,
there's plenty of people in Australia who make great art who are easy to deal with, and you can get stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
And I will. I support him wanting to make Australian wrestling better and wanting to help do with that and all of that stuff. I don't agree with that side of it. He knows that, and I've been completely upfront about it. But I wish him all the success.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we're here because we love Aussie wrestling, right? And if he's going to put on Aussie wrestling, we want to see that be great. There's places we don't agree with what he's doing, and there's places we would like to see it improve, and so we're going to keep talking about those and pushing for the improvement that we want to see.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, we want everyone to succeed if they're an Aussie wrestler.
Yes. Yeah. And if you do want to meet Bobby Lashley, not MVP, and whoever the third person will be from the Hurt Syndicate, you can go to events.acwlive.com.au. All the details and all that about there for Melbourne, Sydney, all of that gimmicks as well.
Yeah. So we're going to be back to talk about what happened at SummerSlam, what's coming up with the Continental Cup and AEW All In. We're going to talk about what the standings are looking like for the G1 Climax, and we're going to talk about a chicken salad and chicken shit. And we're going to do that right after this.
Yeah, we've got promos from shows that are happening from around the country this weekend. So go down and we'll be back right after this. Like Lachlan just said, right after this.
Gask. Just because I've been away doesn't mean I haven't been watching. And maybe it worked on Tommy. You can't just spin your little web and crawl under my skin so easily. Actually, I don't think we're that different. Tenacious, aggressive, intelligent, willing to put it all on the line. But I know what you're trying to do. You're a one-trick pony. You act all spooky and scary, but you should be terrified. Terrified that you finally meet your match. You've met the one man that's willing to do anything it takes to win. Just like you.
My oh my, how the turntables have turned, Rita. Hi! Looks like our dance isn't quite finished. But this time, Rita Stone is the challenger and Shay Cassidy is your Slam Women's Champion. And August 8th, it's gonna stay that way because Shay Cassidy is up here. And you, along with Maya Maddox and Moshpit Bunny, are all the way down here. You're so tiny, you're so small. See you there. Rita Stone's never gonna get this title again.
More orders. I hear you're looking for a fight at Ignition. So on behalf of Orion Menton and Kobe Reeves, the Asylum accept.
Brody Marshall, we hope you get well soon.
Suck up. How about I tell you about the great job we're doing? Being the new co-general managers of Riot City Wrestling, because at Heavy is the Crown, the RCW Tag Team titles are going to be on the line when CBTN defend against Layla Page and Brody Hunter.
We also have the finals. We find out who is the #1 contender between Kit and Smash.
And the return of world-class Chris Basso against his own brother Grim. Plus, the RCW Grand Championship is on the line as the winner of the 2026 Riot City Rumble, Banjo Bowers, takes on Dean Brady.
All that and more.
And more.
And more.
And even more than that.
Even more than that.
We're going to give you more.
And until you can't take it.
I'm going to give you more.
You're going to...
Robert, it appears that we are doing this dance one more time, and I can bet your big, beautiful golden ass that the MCW management team is absolutely thrilled at the fact that they get to experience the absolute box office that is Thought Theater 2. When I look around at the generation that we get grouped in, I don't see anyone else. I just see one, and that's you, Rob. For as special and as talented as you are, that will not help you in this situation. Because when the 3 is counted and the match is over, everyone in attendance will scream at the top of their lungs, and new MCW World Champion, Matt Hayter.
Hey everybody, it's Radar Superstar Adam Copeland. I got a bunch of handles. Anyway, call me what you want, but you are listening to WRA, Wrestle Radio Australia.
Welcome back to Making Chicken Salad, the Wrestle Radio Australia show where we talk about everything going on around the world of wrestling. Jeff's muted.
I know. I find him better that way.
Oh, there we
I
go.
can see that he was trying to say something.
Just before.
Yeah,
we
because
start,
the fool unmuted himself during the ad.
you know. Anyway, sorry. Just before we call me a fool. Hello, Mr. Super Sigma, sir. I was very pleased to see you named as one of Mr. Jamie App's Oz Wrestling cards for the forthcoming month. Yours will surely be a card that is not to be missed, and I hope it sells out. Please don't destroy me. Thank you.
Much
Jeff.
like Jeff just did.
Thank you. This has been a community service announcement on behalf of my head remaining on top of my shoulders. Thank you.
Do you know what I find funny? Is that Lachlan has half of Victorian wrestling after him, and somehow with one person, Jeff, you are still more of a bitch.
Have you seen the size of that person?
And look, we've got a lot to talk about, but just quickly, if you're watching live, you'll see it scrolling across the bottom of the screen. If you've got a question for what do you want to talk about, go to ngl.link/WrestleRadioAU and you can submit a question there anonymously, and we might talk about it. But let's talk WWE first, and we'll run through these fairly quickly.
Read it. Read it.
At ReadyWrestle944 says, fun fact, a cloud typically has a volume of around 1 cubic kilometer and weighs around 1 million tons. Its density is 1.003 kilograms per cubic meter. That's dense. Ready Wrestle then says, your turn at No Soul Rose. That's a Nick Cloud fact, apparently.
Yes.
Pario Magazine says, got him. WWE, on the Tuesday edition of the Pat McAfee Show, Brock Lesnar officially confirmed his retirement after he put over
Sorry. Rosie just popped us.
Rose in the chat saying, please don't read other people's facts.
Well said, Rosie.
Oh,
Thanks,
no.
Rose.
What have I done?
Brock has also been moved to the alumni section on the website. It couldn't be more confirmed that Brock Lesnar is retired from the WWE at this point.
Yeah. What it tells me too is that I think this whole thing had been planned from the get-go. Because when he did the interview with Pat, because I went and watched it, he was just like, they said to him like, "Oh, when did you really know that you wanted to retire?" And this was it. And he goes, there was once during the WrestleMania match where Oba Femi body slammed me, and I'm like, why am I doing this? I can't keep doing this. So when you've got someone like Brock saying, I can't keep doing this, it's probably a good key to him to start looking about wrapping it up.
Yes.
And he did everything he was supposed to do on the way out.
Oh, more than you would normally see.
Ultimately, yes. I didn't like the first mock retirement. I think there was another way to get where they were going, but ultimately, yes. And that's not a knock so much. Well, yeah. I think he should have. I think really the WrestleMania moment was so impactful that I would have preferred it just finished.
Yeah, I kind of feel that wasn't planned though. And the job wasn't quite done yet with Oba.
Yeah, well, it is now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see someone on Twitter, sometimes you see the WWE, like, people who think it's a little bit real, talking about Bron Breakker facing off with Oba, and they're going, this is ridiculous. Bron's not on Oba's level. Oba retired Lesnar twice. Like, Bron can't even beat CM Punk. And it's like, okay, so it's worked then. Right.
Yeah.
After WWE NXT went off the air, Lola Vice seemingly said her goodbyes to the fans at the WWE Performance Center. The former NXT Women's Champion is reportedly main roster bound and is expected to join the SmackDown roster. So that's fun stuff there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was an excellent match on her way out too.
Yeah, that's the first underground match she's lost.
It was brilliant.
Nice
Great
way
match.
to do it, yeah.
They beat the shit out of each other.
Absolutely. Bianca Belair and Montez Ford have welcomed their baby boy into the world, so big congratulations to them. That's awesome news. After first revealing her pregnancy during a surprise appearance at WrestleMania 42, Belair made an Instagram post on August 4th announcing that she's given birth. The baby is named Romeo Leonardo Allen Crawford. It's their first child together, so wonderful stuff there. 2 returns on Raw for the women's roster in both Stephanie McCur and Becky Lynch, and 1 male return in the form of Big Cass.
Big Cass.
Who has a shirt that it says Big Cass, but the C is like really tall and narrow, so the shirt really looks like it says Big Ass. So that's fun for me.
Right, you are. That's fun for you. Good to see.
Yeah.
Do you know the funny thing is, like, when somebody's like, oh, Becky Lynch made her return. I was like, Becky Lynch made a return? Like, when did she go? Then I looked it up. It's like she hadn't been wrestling since June. But because she'd done so much media, I kind of didn't realize that she'd left.
Yes. Right? And even then, not wrestling since June is 2 months. Like, it's not the biggest break in the world. And that's something we'll mention again soon, by the way. But yeah, Stephanie McCur's been gone a little bit longer, so really nice to see her back, and that's exciting for me. We'll run through the SummerSlam results quickly because we've got a 2-night SummerSlam, so lots going on. We had night 1, the women's world title match was Liv Morgan defeating Io Sky. Then a 6-man tag match where LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Solo Sikoa defeated the Bloodline of Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso. Gunther defeated Nick Aldis. In a 6-man tag team match, the Fatal Influence, Fallon Henley, JC Jane, and Lainey Reed defeated the Bella Twins, Brie Bella and Nikki Bella, and Paige. And then in an undisputed WWE title match, CM Punk defeated Cody Rhodes to retain the title. And in a main event Hell in a Cell match, Obafemi defeated Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar announced that he was retiring. Jeff?
Just one very, very, very important note about this. Nikki and Brie Bella turned on Paige afterwards. Sorry, I can't believe they're bad guys again.
Well, I don't know exactly how that's going to go because I think Brie did a shoulder during the match as well.
Oh my god, no!
So,
she's the better of the two.
Yeah, so now you're going to have to hear Nikki's promos for the next 2 months, mate. Before you wipe that smile off your face.
Moving into an night 2, opening with an undisputed WWE title #1 contendership match that was originally to be between Finn Balor
Fractured
and Sami
scapula, says Jamie.
Well, there you go. How's she going to flip her pancakes? An undisputed WWE title #1 contendership fatal 4-way.
He was doing a spatula joke.
Yeah, it was not a good joke. It was originally to be between Finn Balor and Sami Zayn, but the reinstated SmackDown general manager, Nick Aldis, came out and added 2 competitors in the form of Gunther and the winner, a returning Kevin Owens. Following
what a
that,
pop.
What a pop. WWE United States title match with Baron Corbin defeating Trick Williams. An interim WWE women's title ladder match had Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill, Lash Legend, and Tiffany Stratton all not become WWE Women's Champion because that went to Chelsea Green.
Say it properly.
Chelsea Green! There we go. In a Human Monies on a Pole match, Danhausen defeated Dominic Mysterio in one of the lower points of the night. A WWE Intercontinental title match had Chad Gable defeating Penta to become the new Intercontinental Champion. And
I'm not sure if it was in that match, but comedian Brad Williams, during the week at least, was one of the Minihausens.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, was posting about wanting to be one. Or was it in the CVV interview said that he really wanted to be a Minihausen?
Yeah, he wanted to, but they actually made it happen. I know for a fact he was one of the Minihausens that was in the ice cream van handing out ice creams. He was one of the Minihausens there. I'm not sure if he was actually on SummerSlam though.
There you go. And then main event WWE World Heavyweight title match, Roman Reigns retaining against Seth Rollins. And at the end of the match doing the old Shield fist bump. Just to get the fans talking online, I guess.
I like the way that they did that though, by putting the mask in the middle.
Yes.
To denote like that's Ambrose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like the two of them. Like I like that little touch. Yeah.
I hope that is the conclusion of the Shield story, which is kind of what they've been saying.
Has to be.
It's got.
It has to
where
be.
do you go from there?
It has to be.
Bloody DJ says, imagine being Oba and being told, and then you're going to no-sell the Undertaker's piledriver and win. You'd think that it's a dream. How do they protect Oba without weakening him now? Yeah, huge. Michael from Moonsault Press said the mask for the third man, they were paying respect to Kurt Angle, the third member of the Shield.
It's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair.
I thought...
it's a big weekend for the Angle family.
Yeah, it was.
The other... like Kurt's son, his ex-tag team partner won the title.
That's right. It's in the family. I thought night 2 especially of SummerSlam was quite good. There was a lot of good stuff there. Night 1 I think was fine, but night 2 I think especially was really good. And it was, good to see Nick Aldis in the ring getting the Oasis treatment.
Oasis.
That was awesome. That was huge.
That was great. I was
like,
great.
oh wow, they got someone to sound like Oasis. Then I was like, oh, that is Oasis.
That is Oasis. Yeah.
Like they forked out the money for Morning Glory.
There's a lot to like about the upper mid card at the moment. But this is the first thing I've watched since WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then I watched Raw and NXT, and I think I'll just stick to NXT.
No Soul Rose says, hey guys, great SummerSlam. I'm not sure what breaks my heart more, no electrocuted Miz at SummerSlam or this show reading out my rivals' facts. I didn't know it was a rival.
I didn't know you.
He didn't get the Nickelfax sound though.
No.
To be fair.
No, that's just.
We didn't give him all the bells and whistles. That's just a Rose thing.
That's right. Over to AEW now, and the biggest news at the moment is the Motor City Machine Guns made their AEW debut as contracted talent on AEW Collision.
So I just want to, like, can we point this out first? Because I just, I think it's dumb. But the fact that it ruined it for you, I mean...
Yeah. Bloody DJ says, I'm down with the advertising.
It was a 5-second thing.
But the mug guy bringing Chad Gable root beer was way too much. Especially it was Chad's first singles title ruined it for me.
It didn't ruin it for
you. You're going to have a hard time at birthday parties.
Yeah,
look, it was ruined.
The fact that in the middle of WWE it becomes Diet Mug Root Beer's Dana Carvey's show, like, that just is what it is, right? That's WWE at the moment. It is what it is. No Soul Rose says, I was waiting for the mug dog to be Sami Zayn. Yeah, that would. I
was 100% waiting for it to be somebody, and I was like, please don't attack him, please don't.
I'll give him the moment.
As a couple of people mentioned, first of all, Macho Man Andy Savage says Collision is not a hot way to debut someone, and Pario Magazine says MCMG unceremoniously debuted on Collision, shakes fist in anger. Yeah,
Yeah, I kind of feel like that weekend was just like they did that, and then WWE and no, this is how you bring somebody in with Kevin Steen.
Yeah,
or Kevin Owens, sorry.
Kevin
like that kind of thing. And also, like, if you want to watch something wholesome, there is a like a WWE backstage thing or whatever they call it. I can't remember what it's called. Like vlog on Chad Gable, whereas like Chad's at home and he's like literally lives in the same town that he grew up in. His wife is his like high school sweetheart. His kids go to the same school he went to as a kid. They both wrestle in the same places he wrestled when he was like a kid growing up. Like, his best friends are still the guys that he went to school with. I mean, the dude is as white milk baby face of dude as you could possibly be. Like, I wanted him to win so much more after seeing that than like before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I'll express my thoughts later in the episode. Let me just say that.
And moving on to the other news coming out of AEW, I'm ignoring that for a minute, is the Continental Cup. Rules for the Cup are no outside interference and no time limits. 16 wrestlers will compete in 8 blind draw matches. The 8 winners then compete in 4 blind draw matches. The 4 winners move on to the semi-final in Glasgow, Scotland on August 26th. And the Cup final takes place at Wembley Stadium at All In on August 30th.
Can you say Glasgow properly, please?
Glasgow, sorry.
Yeah.
The winner of the final will receive the Continental Cup and will be the new AEW Continental Champion. I could read through all of the names, but it's easier to just list the matches that are coming up. First of all is on AEW Collision on August 8th, we're going to see Claudio Castagnoli versus Ace Austin, Jake Doyle versus Eddie Kingston, and Orange Cassidy versus Matt Sydal. Then on August 12th, and AEW Dynamite, it's going to be Jungle Jack Perry versus the AEW Continental Champion Jon Moxley, and Jay White versus David Finlay. And then on August 15th on AEW Collision, it's going to be Brian Cage versus Hechicero, Kyle O'Reilly versus Roderick Strong, and Katsuyori Shibata versus Nigel McGuinness. Which, tell you what, there's a match. Imagine 3 years ago saying, yeah, Katsuyori Shibata versus Nigel McGuinness.
On Collision.
Well, I don't like the fact that the MCMGs debuted on Collision. Maybe they're trying to make more of a deal of it. Maybe they're trying to make it more of a thing. Because some of those Collision matches, they're going to be great.
I have a question, right? And Jamie would be, because if Jamie's still in the chat, did they mention the Motor City Machine Guns at all on Dynamite?
Yeah.
Because I'm just interested to know.
Even if you're not Jamie, anyone who watched Dynamite could tell us.
Yeah, anyone who watched Dynamite.
I can tell you the news coming out
No
of
mention at all.
Dynamite Grand Slam Mexico, which is, Paria Magazine says they didn't get mentioned at all. In Dynamite, in Mexico for Grand Slam Mexico at Dynamite, the big talking points were MJF's return and his obsession with reclaiming the AEW World Championship, returning with his version of the belt. Kyle Fletcher versus Kazuchika Okada being teased, with Kyle defending his title. New trios champions in the form of Hangman, Bandito, and Brody King, and the continued build towards All In with the Casino Gauntlet entrance taking shape. Number 1 will be Andrade.
What a great run Ricochet had with that trios belt.
Here's the current AEW All-In card. So this is for Sunday, August 30th in London. It's going to be AEW World Champion Kenny Omega defending against Will Ospreay, AEW Women's World Champion Willow Nightingale defending against Mercedes Moné, AEW World Tag Team Champions Adam Copeland and Christian Cage defending against the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, the AEW Continental Cup Final, and the Men's Casino Gauntlet match. So, you know, there's about a third of the card there. Pario Magazine says 1 week reign for the Demand. Not the longest, not the shortest reign we've seen in AEW recently. So, you know, hey, wins and losses matter, right? Moving over
What was the shortest reign in AEW then, besides that? 1 week.
How long did, what's his name? No, the previous trios champs. How long did they have it?
Probably more than a week.
Didn't Ciampa lose his title? I mean, he held it for longer than a week, but didn't he lose the...
Jamie, what am I thinking of where someone got hot-shotted? I think it was the trios titles. I'm pretty sure it was, because then they lost them immediately. Was it the Guns? Or something along those lines. Anyway, this is what AEW does to a man's brain. Let's look over at New Japan Pro Wrestling, where the G1
Riveting
climax
content
is ongoing. We can see so far scores in A block. Takeshita sitting on 10 points, leading the block. Below that, on 8 points, are Yota Tsuji and Bolton Oleg. Down on 6 points, Ryohei... every time. Ryohei Oiwa and Shingo Takagi and Yuto Ice. Meanwhile, on 4 points are Great Khan, Hiroki Goto, Jake Lee, and Sanada. Cope has the shortest reign ever at 3 minutes and 30 seconds, apparently. Yeah, Macho Man Andy Savage. That's what I'm thinking of. Didn't the Conglomeration lose the trios belts within a week? Then over in B block, Gabe Kidd is the leader, sitting on 10 points. On 8 points, it's Aaron Wolf, Callum Newman, Hanare, Oscar, and Ren Narita. On 6 points is Yuya Uemura and Drilla Maloney, and on 4 points is Zack Sabre Jr. The race is still very tight, especially in B block, where 5 wrestlers are just 2 points behind Kidd, and several tournament matches still to come. So that's very interesting. I'm going to ask, hey Todd, do we have any questions for a special segment?
I've got like 2 so far, but people can ask in the chat as well.
Yeah,
people can just throw some stuff up.
Let's ask some people. Hey, are you ready with the audio cue?
Yeah, I'm just getting to it. Hang on. Yeah.
So I'm just going to.
You sprung it on me.
I don't know if I sprung it on you. It's a segment that we do regularly.
Yeah, I know, but I was looking at it as you fucking ask, and then you go, "Hey, now switch to here. Stop looking at the chat and go to the thing. Now go back to this. Now go to that." Fucking hell.
Keeping him on his toes. It's time for us to ask...
What do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? What do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? What do we want to talk about?
All right, Todd, we've got some anonymous questions coming from the link. If you're watching, you'll see that scroll along the bottom to get to NGL, or you can drop a question in chat and hear what you want to talk about. That's ngl.link/WrestleRadioAU. Todd, what questions have we got?
I have one. It's just for you and I, because I believe that this person must know that Jeff doesn't actually work in wrestling. Would either Todd or Lachlan work for ACW? Lachlan, would you do ring announcing or commentary for ACW, my friend?
Is it Hassan who sent the question?
It'd be a big discussion before I say yes to it. I'm not saying that I never would, because I love working in wrestling, especially because I want to make people who dedicate a lot of their lives to wrestling look good, right? I want workers to have opportunities to work, and I like making the crowd... Macho Man Andy Savage says, get the bag. I really like when I can do things that help the presentation of people who go out there and wrestle. That's really important to me. And so there isn't a company that I would immediately say no to without a thought. it'd take some big conversations before I said yes to working with ACW, is what I would say. Australian Championship Wrestling.
Yes.
Adelaide Championship Wrestling, that's a yes straight away.
Sure.
Yeah. Todd?
I have been asked, and I politely turned it down. Not for any other reason that I wasn't really down with the creative of it. If that,
the pitch was not something you were interested in.
No, not being too like I have not like again. I actually like Hassan. All the chats I've had with Hassan have been really good. Seems like a very nice guy. Wants Australian wrestling to be great. I have no problem with that. Just with that, I just wasn't really interested in that. And also, I still feel weird about Melbourne Pavilion as a venue for them to work. Like, I hear it was suggested by someone that was in MCW, but I just the main thing was just the creative wasn't something that I was really interested in doing.
Yeah. I'll just jump in quickly, and I'm sorry to interrupt the flow because we'll go to Jeff in a second. The Dogs had a 4-day reign, but AEW officially recognized it as a 1-day reign because it began on April 11th when the episode aired on tape delay, and they lost it on April 12th to the conglomeration. So, Jeff?
Son of a bitch.
For me, it would come down to, and like no one's asked me to work for them, so it's not likely to happen, or it could, I don't know. But for me, it would come down to the fact of
Jeff, if they asked you, if San like messaged you tomorrow and say, "Hey Jeff, we'd like you guys to do a pre-show WrestleBrania at the Pavilion."
Okay, that would be I'd be complimented by the offer.
How much money? That was Jeff for how much money?
What's on the check?
No. I would be complimented by the offer. I would need to investigate if he was offering talent. If there's a lot of preliminary questions. It's not that easy to just jump in. But say he bought someone out and that someone wound up being injured and he needed a vehicle for them and wanted to have that chat. I would have the chat, and it would depend on how much credibility he gives WrestleBrania, what he wants to achieve with WrestleBrania, and whether there is a future with ACW with WrestleBrania. But saying all of that, there would be some stumbling blocks and mental work.
I want you to agree. I want you to agree and be all set. And then when as you're about to walk out, just an AI introduction for you. Just a massive pop from me.
Yeah, I know it would be. I know it would be. That's only one issue for me. There's a few others, and but the AI is a big one for me. As someone who is creative and works in creative, it's a little galling. I did overhear you mention while I was pottering around and doing a couple of things, Todd. He's not going to change his mind on that. I don't expect him to, but it's just a disappointment that he works in a creative field and he's not up to the standards that we need creativity to lift to. And look, there was
I get it with time crunches. I kind of get it. I just wouldn't do it.
And as you both know, there was an issue with AI use in WrestleBrania earlier this year was an issue we had, and the person who created that is no longer part of the show because the feeling was that
but not because of that.
I mean but that was a contributing factor. That was what it all revolved around. So would I take it? I don't know. Is the simple answer. It would depend on a few variables.
And I also think this question that Macho Man Andy Savage is asking is kind of connected here, right? Which the way he puts it is, can companies get off the WRA shit list, and what would that take? Now, I'm gonna give what I think is the answer, and then I can be told that I'm wrong, and that's fine, right? As far as the quote unquote WRA shit list goes, there are some companies that we prefer not to talk about, or that we voice our criticisms of, right? Because they're doing things that we don't agree with. And we think that it is worth especially the kind of people who listen to Wrestle Radio Australia are people who are invested in Australian wrestling, and we want those people to know what's going on, have an understanding of why we disagree with certain things, and potentially we hope to change some people's minds and potentially change the way some people are operating in certain things. I'm going to go ahead and name the company that is kind of the shit list kind of starts and ends with was Deathmatch Down Under, right? They did some things that we vehemently disagreed with in terms of operating, taking money from fans, stuff that we were really in opposition to, right?
Yes.
I would say that that's a company that we don't dislike that company. We're not rallying against them. We had things they did that we disagreed with. They're not doing something that particularly interests us. And when they put on shows, we're not necessarily feeling like what we will contribute to that conversation is beneficial to them or beneficial to our listeners by talking about them, because we serve kind of a different niche, right? So in terms of like, can a company get off the shit list? It's pretty hard to get onto the shit list. And it's much less like, oh, we hate that company. And it's more like, here's our problems with what's going on with this company right now. And
I would say it's not so much a shit list, it's a pay no mind list.
Yeah.
Like, rather than me talking shit about something, I'd just rather not talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
like that. And again, I don't hate Deathmatch Down Under at all. I'm not interested in it. It's not my flavor of ice cream. And from what they did back in the day, I understand stuff might have changed and all that. That's cool. You do you. I'm not going to come out here every week and go, don't go and watch them go, because it's flavors of ice cream. If that's your jam, enjoy your jam. It's just not mine. And from what I did, I'm not really keen.
I can't explain enough what that did to Victorian wrestling, what that did here. The place is not healthier because of what Deathmatch Down Under did to get on our shit list. But, you know, it's also a case of once bitten, twice shy. Like, we're not going to support a company that has a track record of doing shitty things. So, you know.
No. But also, like, that being said, if they did something that was really good, we would probably mention it.
And, like, let's get back to the question. Can a company come back from that? Absolutely. If they're doing great stuff, we'll appreciate it. And what would that take? Depends on why we're not liking what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
If we're calling out a company for repeated generative AI use, and then they go, hey, we've thought about it, we're not going to use AI anymore, thanks to the people who spoke to us about it. Like, great. That makes us way more willing to support that company, right? It's about when we are saying that we don't appreciate what a company's doing, we don't appreciate that thing that they're doing. At the end of the day,
my
main
main problem is like I know that Jeff and Lachlan, both of you are vehemently opposed to the AI in the way that that's used. I don't like it being used in art and music. I don't. But I'm also like to the point of like, well, not much. As long as you're not hurting the fans or taking the fans' money or ripping the fans off, that is my line.
While I understand that, Todd, from my perspective, they're ripping wrestling fans off by not getting good people in to help them. Like, no one here is saying to them.
But they're not ripping fans off because they're not taking their money and then giving them nothing in return.
Well, in a way, they are.
To me, that's what ripping fans are like. That's what, in essence, Deathmatch Down Under did.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, eventually, they paid them all back, and that's my line. Don't hurt the fans. Don't hurt our lifeblood.
But
you're not doing it. That is more a reflection on their product, not on the fans.
Yeah. But my issue is that there's probably a young group of fans who are in a rock band who are like, well, we could have done something really cool. Like, just ask people.
They could have, but then that band could also contact Hassan and say, hey, I'd like to do this for you.
There was someone in one of the chats I saw that did, and he still put up the AI-generated music. Just used royalty-free music. until your song's ready.
I think this discussion about generative AI is going to continue for, let's be honest, years. It's not going to be a less controversial situation as time goes on. And that's a very specific conversation, right? And I would love to see more artists getting supported, right? Like, obviously, and some people are going to decide that generative AI is the solution, and that's what they will decide, and everyone sets their line differently. Because even people who are, like me, vehemently anti-AI, there are very small AI like, I still Google things.
Yes.
Right? Like, it's impossible to Google without using some form of AI, and I still use Google. Right? I'm not going to come out here and say all AI is inherently breaking everything. But, you know, it's person to person on what we think is acceptable. And it's the same, it's in terms of Wrestle Radio Australia, in general, what we do and don't appreciate coming out of different wrestling companies is going to be different. And for us to gain confidence back in a company, we'll take different things based on why we lost confidence in them. I think it's fair to say.
Yep.
I think for me it's as simple as this. ACW presented a product that was more advertisement than product. It didn't represent Australian wrestling the way I like, but I'm willing to say, okay, it was their first show. There were clearly some issues. I will give them another shot and see how it goes. If they start to actually think about the workers they've got on the roster and listen and actually put a positive foot forward, great. But if it's more of the same, then I'm going to just start really losing interest, which is fine because I was blocked on their... I was blocked by their socials today.
Wild Angel asks, found myself struggling energy-wise these last few WWE pay-per-views, not due to a lack of interest. How do you all prepare to watch these long shows? I'll say, for me, quickly, I don't watch them in one sitting. Heavens no. One sitting is death, right? And I think part of it is, if you're watching it later, being able to skip through ads is a godsend. And, you know, watching a bit that you're excited for, and when you're feeling not excited to watch, taking a break makes a show much more watchable. Boys?
I've kind of find the WWE shows not like that. Because, like, the ad breaks give me a chance to go and do stuff. Like, I can go and get a drink. I can go and do that. I can go and do that. And the fact that, like, the thing started at, I think it was like 9 o'clock or 8:30 and was done by 11. Hey, I had the rest of the day to myself. That's great. When I'm watching an AEW pay-per-view, that thing will start at 9 and then won't finish until bloody, like, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's a whole day.
That's when I have problems. Because I think, personally, the biggest problem with AEW with their long pay-per-views is that everything seems the same.
Yeah.
Like, every match is like different wrestlers, of course, but kind of the same thing. Whereas at least with WWE, you'll have dumb shit like fucking, like, human money's on a pole. You'll have all that sort of dumb stuff like that. And that's like... Yeah, it's just and when people go, yeah, but you can watch it over the space of 2 or 3 days. Yep, that's not how PLEs were intended to be consumed. And you don't get that same feeling over that. Do you know what I mean? It's an event. An event goes for one night. If you have 2 nights in an event, that event is encapsulated in the one night. Like, night 1 and night 2 were 2 different events with the same name.
Yeah. Bloody DJ says, I enjoy the 2 nights. Fair to say some matches seem to be afterthoughts, but gives us 2 main events.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff?
I, much like you, Lachlan, I watch it in parts. More so AEW than WWE. WWE, I can also just put on and have it almost as background because particularly some of the matches at SummerSlam were sort of, just read the book or check my email or do whatever while this is on because I'm not motivated to watch this closely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the other thing I'd say is I've got 2 computer screens and I'll very often be getting some work done in one screen while watching something in the other. And for an AEW show where the wrestling's really good, but I know some stretches of the match are going to play out like I've seen those wrestlers wrestle before. I can get a little bit of work done while watching.
Yeah.
Helps with the energy. Todd, did we have one more anonymous question before we move on?
What is an Australian dream match for you all?
There's so many, right? Todd, have you had a minute to think about this?
No, not at all. We were arguing about AI, I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, we sure were. There's a lot for me that are just very slightly out of step generationally, right? I would have loved, and I know that one of the people involved will agree with this, I would have loved to have seen Davis Storm versus Edward Dusk. Like, just the storytelling that would happen in that would be unbelievable. And on a technical level, I would love to see, and this is one that very potentially could happen, I want to see Slater versus Ryder. That's a match that I desperately want to see. Jeff? And I want to see everyone versus Madison Eagles. Like that's just Madison Eagles versus anyone. That's my Australian dream match, if I'm being real.
Yeah.
Jeff?
This is only half joking. Big Fudge against Jesse Lambert.
Yeah!
How much fun would that be? That would just be such fun. I would love to see Fudge versus Lambert. Boys, make it happen. I don't know if anyone in Sydney or Perth can help, but it'll be great.
I would love to see cut to outside, and to stop interference, Concrete Davidson is there blocking a Toyota Corolla from making its way into the building.
That'd be great. Like, it'd just be a hoot. And sometimes silly wrestling is fun, and I think those two boys would come up with something incredible. I really, 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 really want to see this. It is a three-way. We are getting 2 of the three-way participants at the next MCW show in Mitch Ryder against Adam Brooks. But I want them to throw Solomon Blackwell in the mix. And then I can go, oh, this is
no
great.
Arguments here. No arguments.
But also,
well, I know Solomon has faced Adam before. White Bay. Solomon, Adam, and Bobby Bishop.
Oh, that would have been nice too. I also really, from a tag perspective, I want to see the Water Rapids against the Untouchables, because holy shit, that would be good.
Print some money. Todd, any that you want to list off?
Yeah, 2 that come to mind would be Madison versus Jess.
Yeah.
I think that would be great. And one from a personal point of view, I'd like to see my boy Mitch against Royce Chambers.
Ooh, yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, they can do it in DDT for all I care.
I mean, I'm not sure Royce is returning, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think Madison is either.
Yeah. No, true. Well, I'm going to keep crossing fingers just in case.
This is why they're called dreams, brother.
You've been holding that barrow for 3 years, Lachlan. Give it up.
Yeah.
Hey, gonna keep holding, right? And look, all of that stuff, it'd be chicken salad, but things can't always be chicken salad. To get to chicken salad, oh, here we go. Wild Angel says in the chat, a dream match I know can't happen: Kelly Skater versus Rhea Ripley. Oh, delicious.
That'd be great.
And Macho Man Andy Savage says Aussie Open versus the Untouchables and Madison versus Rhea.
Rhea, yeah.
Easy.
Madison's coming up a lot here.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a reason, right? But, you know, to get to our chicken salad, first we have to go through our...
You're a chicken shit.
You think you're funny, cracking jokes? I'm chicken shit? Yeah?
Jeff, what was your chicken shit this week?
You know, I had a couple, one of which we've touched on, and that wasn't great. But the other one, I'm truly, truly, truly disappointed in the booking of SummerSlam, specifically from Dominic Mysterio. This is a guy who is probably one of, if not the biggest heel in the company. And as much as I get the Danhausen shtick and you've got to get it over and, you know, you want to put him on SummerSlam, I just don't think this worked for either of their characters. You know, especially the giving out of the money afterwards. Like Danhausen's kind of been in there talking about monies, give me the monies, I want the monies, and then he gives it away.
I don't think it was real money, brother.
It wasn't. It was Danhouse dollars or something.
Then what does it matter?
It doesn't matter. It matters from a character, not from a fiscal perspective. You know, it's. I just think, yeah, particularly from Dominic's perspective, I get why he was a bit shitty, and he expressed that on Twitter.
Yeah, look, I think that WWE is a family company, right? And a lot of our complaints recently about WWE have been that they're not being friendly to the kind of people that can be WWE fans. Their pricing hasn't been fair to those people, etc., etc. And part of being a company that appeals to families is having some stupid stuff that the kids can enjoy. And I think that was that. And while I agree that Dominic Mysterio can do a lot more exciting things, I think that sometimes you have to bite the bullet and be in the kid-friendly match, and Dom was. And I think part of being a WWE main eventer, which is what I think Dominic Mysterio is, I think he's a future world champion, part of that job is sometimes being in the Danhausen match. And this show he was in the Danhausen match.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you, but I think sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles.
He's also a baby who will have years and years and years of SummerSlam matches.
He's 29. He's 29. You're right. Yeah, look, I'm not.
Which means he's probably got another 20 years. The way wrestling is today.
I pivoted to this because I was going to talk about the use of generative AI, but we've exhausted the topic. So this was a pivot.
So I caught you out on a cross-examination.
He's 29, which means he is 12 years younger than main eventer Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
There you go. But yeah, I would rather him be on the show than not be on the show.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And, you know,
how refreshing is it? How refreshing and positive is it that we're talking about Dominic Mysterio? We're just, what was it, 3 years ago? 3 and a bit years ago? We were going, the guy's
goodness.
Yeah.
And he would have been our chicken shit regularly.
So he kind of is my chicken shit again, but not him. It's just the circumstance he was in.
Todd, chicken shit.
I hate doing it because it's like, yeah, okay. But just debuting the Motor City Machine Guns like the way they did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no real fanfare, no like, hey, they're coming out. They just came out flat at the start of Collision, cut a 30-second promo, and then went back to the back. There was no interaction, no setup of what they're doing going forward, no, like, this is a team that technically they've been after for years. Have a little bit of fanfare about it. Like, there was a lot of talk about, like, do you know what they're going to set up? They're going to set up a big 3-way tag match at All In, and it'll be them and the New Day and the Young Bucks and Cope and Christian, and none of that's going to happen, guys. At this point, I don't even know if Motor City Machine Gun will be at All In.
Yeah.
I think it's certainly problematic. It certainly is, and it doesn't augur well for anyone else considering going to AEW. But saying that, they're probably just trying to build Collision. Was it handled well? Absolutely not. I completely agree with you, but they're probably just trying to make Collision a show that people should watch. Because everyone's just going, oh, it's just Collision. It's just Collision. Yeah. And that's writ large to me.
People still aren't going to watch that. They're just going to watch the highlight on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because they did nothing.
Well, they didn't even have a match.
No, they just came out in street clothes, cut a promo, said we're all elite, and then get them into the back.
Yeah, right. No, that's not good.
It's nothing. My chicken shit is I'm going to keep it light because I was going to do an injury one, but that's just no fun. Obviously, that's chicken shit. I'm going to touch on, we talked about Becky Lynch's return. We also talked about MJF's return. It's not a return if they've barely been away. And it frustrates me. Like, Becky Lynch, 2 months, right? I know that MJF had to go and film Violent Night 2 or whatever it was he was doing, so I understand that he wasn't on the show week to week like he normally is. His last appearance, I just looked it up, was at Dynamite Beach Break, where he lost the title to Kenny Omega. That was on July 8th. So in 2 days, that will have been a month ago. He was gone for less than 1 month.
So not
How
really
is that
a
return?
Not really
He
a
had
return,
a couple
just
of
like...
weeks. Like,
Shit,
sure, but it's not,
Hangman
it's not
had been on
return.
less between...
Yeah! Right? Like, how is it... Anyway, like, I just... It's not a big deal, but it just feels so dumb when we're looking at people's returns and they've been away for 28 days. You know? Anyway, let's be a bit more positive, hey? Let's
Hang on, before you do that, let's run through...
Oh, sorry, I haven't been looking at the comments. Oh my goodness. Look at me.
There you go.
While we've got Macho Man Andy Savage here saying my chicken shit is my AEW on Fire Stick. I've had it a month now and the whole app feels prehistoric. I'm also not sure why it requires a 4K Fire Stick when it doesn't broadcast in 4K.
Probably because they're preparing to.
Yeah. Wild Angel says chicken shit was a little upset with the dog ruining Chad's moment, but Michael Cole's commentary was horrendous. Wild Angel also says, I didn't want to mention Julia and Lash Legend. Lash was good in that ladder match, and a ladder match I don't think would be a good show use of Julia. We want so much more for Julia. Like, what's going on there? Bloody DJ...
And Jordan Grace.
And Jordan Grace. Bloody
Was she
DJ did say
injured?
Danhausen is
Or is she
exactly
back?
that kind of family-friendly weirdo.
She wasn't injured.
Okay.
She was on. The two of them had a great match about a month ago on Main Event. You can watch it for free on YouTube.
Okay.
Like,
I know she had an injury.
Either way, they're not using her because she, as I said, a month ago she had a great match with Julia on Main Event.
Alex Fireheart says, chicken shit. Good lord, does that Continental Cup logo look like this idea was super last minute, so they just grabbed a generic one and slapped AEW branding on it? When I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw it for the first time, I thought I was getting advertised some cricket thing.
I actually thought that was... We speak a lot about AI. That looks very AI generated.
It does look very AI.
I would feel like it's probably not, but it looks like it. You know? Anyway. Look, let's put the chicken shit behind us, hey? Let's talk about something.
This chicken salad really is the bomb.
Jeff, what's your chicken salad this week, mate?
I have two, and it's both involving titles. I am so very, very happy that Chad Gable, who's regularly been having matches of the year, or close to matches of the year for the past decade, has finally gotten a singles title in WWE. As much as I didn't like the stuff afterwards, the fact that he brought his family out, his mum and dad were wearing Chad Gable #1 fan.
That's his mother and father-in-law.
Father-in-law.
Yeah, that's not even his parents. That's his wife's parents.
But just so nice to see, and he brought the family in. Like, it just closes full circle. The stuff with Gunther about 18 months ago that we all loved, you know, it just really, really was good. And if it is the workhorse title, which the Intercontinental Championship is still defined as so, and my other thing...
I mean, if they didn't, they would have had to burn that building down because that crowd was ready.
Oh, yeah. My other thing, and it's about a title again, Murdoch's the Ignition Champion. That makes me happy. He's a good worker. He's a nice bloke. He's mad as a cut snake. But good on him. On you, Mur.
Absolutely. Todd, chicken salad.
My chicken salad was not only Kevin Owens returning, because what a moment that was. That was night 2 is definitely picking up from night 1, but I don't know if you saw it, but there was a clip that leaked out of Big E not realizing he had a hot mic for the post show. And Kevin came out and hugged him. As he hugged him, like, Big E's just like, you nearly made me fucking cry, man. I was like, that was just because it's like honestly something you hear all the time. It's so good to see someone who like basically has had to retire because of a neck injury, seeing one of his friends come back from a neck injury like that. And then for Kev to be there and like enjoying his moment and all that, to still shout out like Tanea Brooks or Rebel as being like inspirational. Just like, I love Kev and I can't wait. Like it makes SmackDown now something that I will definitely have to watch because I want to see a promo off now between Punk and Kev.
Oh
yeah,
and let's be honest. Coming back from a neck injury, unfortunately, the person generally only has a maximum of 5 years. Like, they're not going to get longer than 5 more years out of Kevin Owens. I mean, he's obviously got a place as a coach, promo class.
He basically said that in the post show. He was like, I don't know how much longer I have left here, so I'm just going to go until the wheels fall off now. So whatever you're going to get out of me for however long this lasts, you're going to get as much of me as I can.
And I mean, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I think his forthcoming match with Cody is actually Punk, is actually something to get really, really excited about.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be great. Michael Lee says chicken salad for me is the first 4 people announced for Rhea Slex and Buddy's masterclass. Can't wait to see the ripple it has once all 16 wrestlers get back to Australia. Yeah.
I've heard other names leaked, and yeah. Good.
I have as well. Impressed.
Yeah.
Impressed. And it's the fact that they're keeping it to 16 so that those people get that time.
Yes.
Is fantastic. Chicken salad from Alex Fireheart. While I've been periodically burning out a bit, I've managed to keep up with the G1 and it's been super solid so far. Obvious highlight is Takeshita, but I don't think anyone's been particularly bad either. Also, Jesus Christ, everyone who's faced Yuto Ice so far has kicked his ass like he insulted all their mothers.
He did. He did, Alex. Should have heard him.
My main chicken salad this week was also Kevin Owens. Like, just what I am a huge fan of that guy, so seeing him back is fantastic. Seeing the fact that he's going into that spot where I can see him beating Punk for that title. Like, it is an actual threat.
Can we also shout out Chelsea Green, dedicating her title win to Michael Hayes?
The best. I didn't write it down because I thought it was going to be Jeff's chicken salad.
Yeah, look, I'm so stunned that they actually did that because the foregone conclusion, and I said it to Todd last week, it's going to be Jade or Charlotte. We're going to see that again. No, go with something different. And the great thing is, once Rhea comes back, Chelsea can become a full bitch heel, and it'll be wonderful. It's great. I love also that it's someone new.
Oh,
absolutely.
Before I forget, Continental Cup picks. Let's just pick the winner now. Because I'll forget, otherwise then the tournament will have already started. People will have been eliminated by the time we get to next week.
I'm going to say Eddie Kingston for mine. Because Eddie Moxley, that's got such history to it. It'll be great.
You obviously don't listen to Dave Meltzer.
No. Does anyone?
If you get a chance, listen to him just like tear Eddie apart because Eddie hasn't been. Because they were talking about Eddie not being on AEW or Dynamite and then being named in the tournament. And Dave was just like, oh, he's been on Ring of Honor. And like Brian's just like, yeah, that's not Dynamite. Or like people haven't seen him. And then he just started, Dave just started tearing down Eddie, going, well, he's not been very good, and but he's been on Dynamite. I'm like, bro, just go, yeah, he should have been on Dynamite. Just say that. It's so much easier.
Yeah, he'd have had a higher profile on Dynamite. No, Jamie has picked Claudio Castagnoli.
Yeah, Jamie stole my pick.
You wanted as well?
Because it just makes sense for the Cup to be the reason that we get Mox versus Claudio, because they wouldn't face each other as Death Riders, but this gives them reason to.
So you think it's going to be Mox in the final no matter what?
Yes. But I'm going to change so that, Jamie can have his pick. And I'm going to pick Jay White. I think that this is their opportunity to really strap a rocket to Jay White. That's what they're planning for this tournament, I think.
Let's see if he gets out of it fucking uninjured. He nearly didn't even get out of the fucking other match, the chain match, uninjured.
Oy, oy, oy.
That's cool. What about you, Toddy?
I was so busy writing you guys down, I haven't even looked. I think Jay White's a great call. If this was just after they debuted, I probably would have thought Dave Finlay had a shot.
I was going to say the same thing about Jake Doyle. I was going to say
the
the
way
same
that they've
thing.
handled him, I'm just like, yep, there's no way they're doing that with him. It's fucking boring, but I've got a feeling that fucking John Moxley will do it.
Yeah, that's maybe a good call.
That might
like
be
if you're
good,
a betting
mate.
man. We've got a chicken salad from Wild Angel, who says, I had no hopes for that women's match, was happy to be blown out of the water. The work the women did, Jade's heat with the crowd, chanting BS, and Chelsea's win. Congrats, Green, and can't wait for Punk versus Owens. I've also got another little chicken salad. Just personally, it's been a really good week for me in terms of, some work I've been doing. I mentioned earlier that, confirmed that I'm going to be on the World Series Wrestling show. But something that was a lot of fun was Integrity Pro Wrestling contacted me, and their show Battle Tested that had some issues with the audio. And I got asked if I could record some commentary for that show. So just going back, the pre-recorded show, putting commentary over the top. And it was a bloody great show.
Sorry, mate. Did you do solo commentary, or was that with somebody?
Just me.
Oof.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Big job. But no, it was so much fun. It was the first round of their tag team tournament, which was stacked to the gills. The opening match was Velocities versus Coastborn Killers.
Ooh.
How good. So just being able to really enjoy that show and do some wrestling work that was so enjoyable, because I got to watch an awesome show with one of the most hard-hitting main events I've ever seen in the form of Kai Drake versus Jack Bonza. Just beating the tar out of each other. And to watch that, and then watch what we watched this week with PCW and Carnage being such a great show. Integrity and PCW aren't the first companies that I think of when I think Aussie wrestling. And then to watch those two shows back to back and just have an absolute blast with both of them was an absolute delight. In the chat, we got Jamie, who mentions his chicken salad. Lena getting I've lost it. Lena getting a high-profile match at Wembley. That is awesome. It's, good to see the Aussies getting it done. And Macho Man Andy Savage says, way to bury the lead, Lachlan. I'd love to hear how you prepare for that. Solo commentary on a product you don't regularly watch has to be brutal. So shout out to the Integrity team for getting me some notes beforehand, but also mostly trusting me with what to do. And because I was watching it after the fact, it meant that I could record each match as a segment. I didn't sit through the whole show and do it in one hit. So I was able to have a drink of water between matches and get my breath back. So it was doable. And I've done solo commentary before. I actually don't mind it. I think I've got a feeling I'll be doing more of it in the future. I'll talk about that when it comes. Wild Angel also says, second salad, almost got my dad to come to Pro League on the strength of Trent O'Day's Pick Your Poison promo, which that's looking very cool. I am shocked that Trent O'Day's Poison was not Sam Cannon. Yeah. I even made the meme of Bart and Lisa, where Lisa, poor predictable Trent O'Day, always picks Sam Cannon. And Trent O'Day thinking, good old Sam Cannon, nothing beats that. But no, Sam Cannon picking Jack Bonza, I think is really cool.
I will say though, to pick you to do integrity and all that sort of stuff, not to toot our own horns, but we probably watch more Australian wrestling than most people, especially most people that are in the media of Australian wrestling. So being that you've got so much of that background knowledge of watching New E Pro, you watch PWA, you watch, you have enough knowledge of that New South Wales scene that you can lean on that.
Yeah, and there are teams there that, even the teams that I know, or the competitors that I know less, it's, guys like Luke Watts, who we've seen plenty of times. It's,
Yeah.
you know, Carney Boys, who we've talked about really enjoying the work of. It's the tag team of the Island Girls, which are Nikki Van, Blair, and Eugenie. And it's like, yeah, you know, I've got my head around enough of these people that I can mostly make it work. You know what I mean?
Oh, do you know Eugenie?
I've seen her wrestle once or twice, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, mostly it's just... But that's the advantage of watching all this Aussie wrestling. But not only that, it's like just loving Aussie wrestling. It's bloody fantastic. And the keeping up with it is a delight. And that's why we do it here at Wrestle Radio Australia every Thursday night for Making Chicken Salad. So make sure you're following. If you haven't already, subscribe to Wrestle Radio Australia for free. Do it on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Twitch, Podcast Addict, anywhere you get your podcasts from. If you're on Apple Podcasts and you could give us a 5-star review, that really helps us get into more ears. I know that everybody says it. If you could do it, it genuinely does make a difference. It gets us pushed out there with the advertising. It's massive. So a 5-star review goes a long way if you can.
Can't afford bots.
No, we don't do that stuff. Natural engagement. We've got merch on Redbubble, so if you go on over to Redbubble, REDBUBBLE, search for Wrestle Radio Australia there, you'll find some of our merch. The proceeds don't go to us, they go to Beyond Blue and Gotcha for Life, which are awesome charities supporting mental health here in Australia. And if you're looking for merch, I can recommend kickout.com.au. Check out this Strong 94 shirt. How good's that one? They've got merch of your favourite Queensland wrestlers from around the country. If you're a wrestler and you want your merch on Kickout, contact them via their Instagram page. They'll be able to get you set up there. You should also follow us on Instagram. We're at WrestleRadioAU on Twitter and on Instagram. We're Wrestle Radio Australia on Facebook. Twitch.tv/WrestleRadioAU. You can follow Todd at Beast Eastman. You can follow me at Lachlan Albert. Jeff's got at Wrestle_Brainia. How about that WrestleBrainia, Jeff?
How about that, WrestleBrainia? News soon, maybe. That's it. That's all I can say. News soon, maybe.
You should also follow at Jamie Apps Media to find out all of the stuff that guy's doing, because he does a million things at once. At Pario Magazine, at Ozrest Cards as well. You know, keep up with the enormous amount of stuff that guy gets done. He's an absolute legend. Have we got anything else that we need to mention, lads?
Yep. Tomorrow night I'll be back with the watch-alongs. I'm going to go through the absolute wrestle fest that was Rodman Down Under. So we're going to check
the worm in Australia.
Yeah,
you know,
we're going to check that out. And
normally I try and make your Friday night watch-alongs, Todd, but this week I'm busy.
Probably not. Yeah, I figured that.
I'm doing my hair.
Funny that. What,
anything from
no, I have
mentioned, Jeff?
I do have a commitment. I legitimately have a commitment tomorrow.
Nothing.
Yeah, no. So that it should be interesting. Let's put it that way.
That's one word for it, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah. So. Look. With that said, there's always stuff going on. So Pario Magazine says doing the hair, the one, and Bloody DJ says, yeah, nice. I'll pick out a nice dress for that one. We're going to be here tomorrow night for Todd's Watch Along. We'll be here next week for Making Chicken Salad. We love doing this. We hope you love hearing it. We hope you love Australian wrestling. So that's the other big thing, is get out there and check out some Australian wrestling if you can this weekend. It's on in pretty much every state except Queensland, I think. So you'll have the opportunity. And, you know, watch some on YouTube. There's so much free on YouTube. Get the PCW network and check out PCW Carnage 2026, because we watched that and it was an absolute blast, you know. There's so much good stuff out there and we're hoping that you're loving it. So from me, Lachlan Albert, on behalf of Jeff Setti and Todd Eastman, till next time, have a good one.
Do you think it's Cedric Alexander?
Trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit, and it was just awful.
I've turned chicken salad into chicken shit. I will continue to do so.
Making chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Make chicken salad out of chicken shit. People live